damaged so severely they'll never be able to be used again.
Fox's Bill Malutian in Pacific Palisades. The Biden administration just extending temporary protected status for some Venezuelans and Salvadorans already in the U.S. America's listening to Fox News.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
You said bye-bye to big government. Now it's time to trim the fat from big wireless. Pure Talk gives you the exact same service. They use the same cell towers, the same 5G network. You get better customer service, and you pay half the price for the exact same thing. Get unlimited talk, text, 15 gigs of data with mobile hotspot for just $35 a month. Make the switch. You simply dial pound 250, say the keyword, save now, save an additional 50% off your first month. Pure Talk, America's wireless company.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Our little southern storm system on the way out, though it's a slow process as it heads into the Tennessee Valley. So we're cloudy all afternoon, light snow tapering off to snow flurries. Still some road problems out there. Take it easy, take it slow. 32 for the high. Tonight, clouds, snow flurries around, especially during the evening, 20. The weekend, Saturday, mostly sunny and 32. Sunday, partly sunny, 36. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
One of the things with running is I want to enjoy the run, but I never made it very far because the arches in my feet just killed me. So when I got to the end of my rope and I said I have to do something to get rid of the pain, and a couple people recommended the Good Feet store to me. I loved how I could go in and get a free personalized arch support fitting. They put that time, that work, that effort into helping you find the right arch supports. And you can walk around this store with these in your shoes and try them out before you purchase them. So after I got my arch supports, the arches on my feet stopped hurting and the pain instantly, literally instantly went away. So if you have pain, go. Find a Good Feet store and go. There is an answer. Find the simple solution that will get rid of your pain. I'm Rondi, and that's my Good Feet story.
See how Good Feet arch supports work for you before you buy with a free fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store.
Visit one of our 2 locations, Creve Coeur and Shiloh, Illinois, and at goodfeet.com.
January is a great time to practice your 2A skills at the Range St. Louis West, the only NSSF 5-star shooting range in St. Louis County. Right now, you have a chance to win a custom range-themed hockey jersey and a pair of tickets to a Blues game by playing their Shoots and Scores promo all this month. Go visit them at 14803 Manchester Road in Baldwin. You can shop online anytime at therangestl.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and X. I'll see you at the range.
Eggland's Best, the only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Available in so many delicious varieties. Classic, cage-free, organic, free-range, and pasture-raised. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda suffered for years with chronic sinus infections.
You don't feel like doing anything. When you feel like your head is completely clogged, all you want to do is just lay down and sleep. And the pressure, it's just not fun. Always walking around with a headache.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of St. Louis Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty.
I really did not know what it was like to feel like you're really breathing and not being so clogged up. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I would definitely recommend it for someone else.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, congestion? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with St. Louis Sinus Centers. Call 314-230-9333. 314-230-9333. That's 314-230-9333.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio. I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Careful analysis in obedience to governing mandates and pursuant to the rule of law, this court has determined that the only lawful sentence that permits entry of a judgment of conviction without encroaching upon the highest office in the land is an unconditional discharge, which the New York State Legislature has determined is a lawful and permissible sentence for the crime of falsifying business records in the first degree. Therefore, at this time, I impose that sentence to cover all 34 counts. Sir, I wish you Godspeed as you assume your second term in office.
Oh, barf. Judge Mershon laying the sentence down on Donald Trump because now he's a convicted felon and the president of the United States in like a week and a half. Are we worried about this? No.
No.
You remember? I've been there. I've been proud, too, where you're playing in a sporting event, a tournament. Did so this year. And you play in pool play. You don't do very good in pool play, but then you get to go into the loser's bracket.
Oh, that's the best.
I've won the loser's bracket.
Yeah, loser's bracket's great money right there.
You go to Denny's afterwards.
Oh, yeah, you're feeling good.
And your player is like, can I get an orange juice and a milk? And you're like, you sure can. You're the best loser.
Yeah, get the full stack of pancakes. Get the moons over my hammy.
That's where the whole New York Democratic Party, is right now. Congratulations. Judge Mershon, a round of applause for the winner of the losers.
Slow clap.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Good for you. Good for you. Pinch those cheeks and tell him you love him.
Yeah, we're all rooting for you though.
I'm not.
We had no, I like how he had to say, well, Godspeed. We're really on board with this second term here.
This is genuine. This is from my heart.
Yeah,
I got to go find it. I'll be right back.
We hated to be a part of the process that was trying to stop you from being in this office
put
again.
upon us. I thought it was kind of ironic that the entire time that they called him a convicted felon and he wasn't, they tried to use that to affect the election. It didn't. And now they can call him a convicted felon and it still doesn't affect the election.
It's really not even really a
It's like you guys are so close. You're so close to making a difference. But you will also have to call your convicted felon president, Mr. President. So it's not a bad day.
It's just weird.
In the legal system, it's a good day because now the Donald Trump legal team can go in and pursue the appeal. The left gets to call him a convicted felon, but they've been calling him a convicted felon. So in order for them to feel super good about this day, it would involve a bit of a concession and admission that they've been full of crap this whole time.
You know what they can't call him, though, is a rapist, because then they'll get sued.
Oh, please do. Let's get a little bit more of them dollars into the Trump inauguration fund.
But that's the point,
right?
No.
George Stephanopoulos' money was going to the Trump library.
That's right.
Not the inauguration fund. That's where all big tech dollars are going right now.
Which is just glorious. They should put a stone in the corner. It says George Stephanopoulos built this.
The cornerstone. Should have it like a little animation of his face with his glasses. I really feel like the winner of the consolation bracket is kind of what this is. It's not a loss. You didn't lose the whole gosh darn thing. You put your effort in it there at the very end, and you made the best of a bad situation. Hooray!
Look, he just swam through the Amazon, came out the other side, flexed and tore his shirt, and then realized, oh, there's a little piranha here. Flick.
On his nipple. Hey, it's good to have you back.
Hey, thanks. Good to be back.
Yeah. Do you only come in when it snows?
Yeah. So I try to only come in when it's hard to get
Most people come in when it's easy. If you just walked around the office, at most offices, you'd see that. Ryan only likes to try to take the Ford Explorer out in the really crap weather.
Yeah, when I see it's bad, I'm like, well,
here we go.
Got work to do, honey. Well, I think you figured out that the kids are home. And I'm like, I should probably leave, huh? That's kind of what's going on.
Yeah, my whole family's at home. I assume your wife's at home.
Yeah, she's at home.
Yeah, everybody's out of school. That brings me to our YouTube poll for today. And I think I might take phone calls on this. This is a little out of the box.
I bet a lot to say here, though.
I think it's possible. I'm going to unblock the phones right now. I'm going to maybe break a little bit earlier in this segment, and then we'll take the phone calls in the next one. But the poll for today is grade the snow removal in your area. And we have a standard grading system on the Annie Fry Show, which is A, B/C, D, or F. And, it's really good to see Facebook back to the form it was supposed to be in, which is moms and dads fighting about neighborhood things.
Mm-hmm.
And snow removal is up there at the top.
Yeah, I like it.
School gets closed, and then the question is, does it get closed? Does it? Are your kids remote learning? We have 3 schools represented in our home. 2 are remote learning. 1 is just canceled. And I have no problem with remote learning. We have the capabilities right now, and the thought of that you could do 2 things that aren't remote learning. You can just have a snow day, or you can go to school. I am, you call me soft, whatever you want. I am not of the mind that if it's treacherous to get to school for anybody who is in that district, if you've got a district that spans into rural areas and you can't safely get those kids to and from school and you can remote learn, then just remote learn. I don't understand why everybody is so bent out of shape about this, unless you're of the mind where you think a snow day should always have to be a snow day. I am okay with the idea of having both the full-on snow day and the remote learning as an option. I am okay with that. And I think that kids should be able to still understand what a true snow day is. But if you're in a situation where you've had 2 weeks off for Christmas break, 2 days off for a snow day, you went back on Wednesday, and my understanding is the majority of people who tried to squeeze in a school day on Wednesday was pretty much to prepare everybody to remote learn for the rest of the week, to give them the information, the technology, whatever it might be, so that, because they knew the weather was coming, to give them the means to actually remote learn. Why would we not use remote learning that we spent a year saying was the absolute necessary thing to do, plus a year plus for some of these kids, not my kids, because I send my kids to a Lutheran school. But why would you not utilize an opportunity to remote learn in some capacity? And here's the real question. And yes, I'm married to a teacher. Brian is married to a teacher. Brad is married to a teacher. They are all different people. But why would teachers not be in a position with remote learning being a part of the possibility to have remote learning exercises at the ready? I know that it would depend on the subject. I know that it would depend on where you are in any given part of your instruction. But I think that educators need to be pressed upon to have the flexibility to be able to take what they're doing and make it digitally accessible. I think that that's something that should be made available. All of this to say that if the snow removal in your area sucks, and that's why kids aren't out of school, then instead of shaking fists at the people who are making these decisions about whether or not kids can get to school safely, why don't you ask your municipality or county, whatever it is, why they're not doing a better job clearing the roads? Thoughts?
On behalf of my wife, a teacher, snow day is a snow day. Don't make me work my snow days. But also, like when you get into like day 4, 5, 6, it becomes more of a problem because you're going deeper into the summer.
Exactly.
So
you still have to meet the state requirements for the hours.
So I think there is a point where you get to, and maybe January feels a little early. I think by February, March, especially April, if you're having snow days by then, that's when you're like, okay, we can't just go into June, and we can't get to 4th of July here. We gotta start doing some days, maybe remote. So I think they'd be okay with that.
Your wife teaches literature, English, what?
Literature and that's right, English.
So, I don't know, and I would never presume to be like, why doesn't she just do this with her job? My husband teaches history. I wouldn't tell him what to do. My husband has worked to try to make integrated more digital things, but he is a newer teacher than you guys. Both your wives are first career teachers, right?
Yeah, only career.
Yeah. My husband came into it. He and I went to TV radio school together, and I stuck with it and he went back to school to be a teacher. So he came into it at a later time and has integrated a lot of digital things, I think, because of when he came in. But I think that there is I will even phrase it this way. There's opportunity to make snow days exist more so when you can also implement effective remote learning days. What I would be frustrated as a parent, and honestly not even really, that's a lie. I mean, I'm putting it on my kids to learn what they need to learn. But what I don't want to have happen is for it to be a remote learning day that is bullcrap. You're counting this as learning, and they're like waving at the teacher on a camera like, here I am, give me credit. So there has to be actual learning taking place. I don't think it has to be the same. I don't think that the teacher should be sitting in front of a camera lecturing kids for until the bell rings and then they got to log into the next Zoom or whatever. But remote learning days should have opportunities for kids to do activities that make them think for a little bit if you're not going to call them snow days.
I think I might be on the exact opposite side of the coin with you on this issue. Because I think a lot of this comes from my wife. They're trying to move away from technology. They're trying to get back to connection in person. And not that this can't be a part of that, but I almost think that they would prefer to just sort of, if we got to do a day at home, just check the box. Let's not make it very hard. Let's kind of coast through a day or two at home.
Who would like to do that?
Everybody. I think the parents would like that. I think the teachers especially
to the extent
would like
where
that.
If you have a winter like we could be having right now where you end up having 7 snow days that you're going to school in June?
Well, it depends. It depends on how deep you get into it. Like I said before, if you're getting into week 2, 3, you're going to have to make adjustments. And that's when you're like, well, we got to get some stuff done. Because she's also, I will say, very regimented in saying we have to be done with this section by this date. And
Sure.
getting off of that is tough too. So, because she really pushes the kids really hard, so they got to stay on schedule. I just don't know. I don't know that we've been in that situation yet.
Well, we haven't because we haven't had snow.
Yeah, I would defer. Since COVID, I don't know that we've gotten to the point where we really need to go that deep into summer. So I would really defer to my wife and just see what she thinks about that. I know right now in the first couple days she's like,
not
give
here.
us snow days. Yeah.
Wait, are you going to go get her?
Well, I can call her.
Have her call in, Ryan.
Yeah, I'm sure her school and she would really appreciate the opportunity to say what she really thinks.
Well, for me, I'm like, I don't care what you do, but
don't you care as a parent?
I do, and
no.
I do because I like the kids to have snow days where they don't have to do anything. They can just go play in the snow for a couple days.
How long was their winter break?
2 weeks.
So you would rather did they go to school at all this week?
Yeah, they went 2 days.
Same for ours. They had two snow days?
2 snow days at the
Wednesday,
beginning of the week,
Thursday,
and
go
then
back.
week today. So 3 total.
And today is
Yeah.
I just think that we went through COVID and told our kids to learn from home, and now we're like, they can't learn anything at home.
Well, I think that's kind of the point is that I'm making is that they didn't really do a good job during COVID. So
well, but at the same time, that was the whole mess of it. Isn't there a way? Isn't there a way that you can use technology, should it be provided so that every kid has opportunity to do that? You can't do it if some kids have it and some kids don't. Shouldn't there be a way for kids to some extent, like I was saying at the beginning, I think that you maybe get, how you build your calendar out, you build the school calendar out probably a year and a half advance or whatever it might be. And then there's always at the end, because I always look, like, when are the kids getting out of school? It's like, this is the day they're getting out of school. Unless there are no snow days, then it goes back to here. So they make you commit to the later date, and then it might get pulled back in the event you don't have to have any snow days. But you end up having those 3 snow days that are built in or whatever it might be. Then there are act of God days where they just get brushed aside. Well, then what happens if you end up getting 7 days less of instruction or something over the course of time? Like, why is it that at this point in 2025, we don't have the ability to spend one day with our kids with practical remote instruction or an activity that can be assigned that would help them learn on the subject for one day? It seems to me like we should be able to do that. I'm not for taking snow days away altogether. I do think that we should be at this point in time in a place where we could implement either or based on where we are in the calendar year, how we fared in, if maybe you had a pipe break at the school in September and you had to cancel, and that's essentially on the calendar the same thing as a snow day. Shouldn't we be pressing upon our education systems to be more ready to implement learning at this time? Especially going back and thinking 4 years ago, everybody got thrust into it and so many people were okay with it for so long. Brad, do you have any strong feelings on this?
Well, I mean, if you can manage to have an effective learning day, I think that you should have the effective learning day so you don't miss it out. Like you were saying, Illinois has, built-in snow days, and then after a certain point, they're just, you don't have to make them up. And you don't really want to miss out on that. But at the same time, you also don't want the kids with, I heard horror stories from COVID where kids had answers taped to the wall behind them. They didn't really learn. We looked at the whole thing and learning was behind. So if you can implement an actual strategy to actually teach during a remote learning day, I think that's a good plan. I don't want our kids to miss out on learning because that's the whole point of sending them to school. And people are like, well, yeah, it's one day or another day, but really, if you start stacking them up a whole bunch, you start missing out on a lot, and it sets everything back.
Let us know what you think about this, but the real question, the real conversation I want to have with phone calls, it's not so much about the school days because this doesn't affect everybody listening the same if you don't have school-age children. I do want to know about how you feel about the snow removal in your area. I do want to know how you feel about your taxpayer dollars going to make sure that you can get to and from where you have to go. It is important, too. If you don't have to be on the roads today, you should not be on the roads today. Stay out of the way. Give the plows all the room to work. I know people in my life who are driving snow plows, and they've been driving plows for like 5 days straight. They're working their tails off. Do they have the resources they need? Do they have the manpower they need? Do you feel like they've done a really good job? Do you feel like it's a disaster? Let us know what you think. 314-241-9797. 314-241-9797. Let us know what you think, and we will take some of your phone calls here on the Annie Fry Show. When we come back, you can also go to the Annie Fry YouTube channel, and you can vote. Give them a grade. An A, a B/C, a D, or an F. Tell us why. We'll be right back.
Put on my makeup and drown in self-hatred, forget what I'm saying.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Where the beat go? Oh, ain't that something?
The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe. Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797.
Every syllable, I'm a criminal. Never political, pretty visual. Even if you hate it, I'll make you feel like you're in it, though. You call me what you want, but never call me forgettable. Leave you deep in doubt, I can never swim in the kiddie pool. Waited, I've been thinking this.
The Dittamore Group, excited to be talking to you about the number one team and the number one office in the Metro East when you partner with the Dittamore Group to buy or sell or both your home. You are with the winning team. And this is my favorite part that I get to tell you. It's Missouri and Illinois. So when you reach out to work with Tammy, Zach, Pat, Abby, and Trisha at the Dittamore Group, you are in wonderful hands. 618-531-4652. 618-531-4652. They're online at thedittamorgroup.com. Thedittamorgroup.com. And you're going to talk to them about what you're looking to do. There is 50 plus years of experience in this office. They are well known and respected in the community. They are very active in the communities that they serve. And they know the very best ways to get your home sold for top dollar and to get your next home purchased for just the right price. 618-531-4652. 618-531-4652. Online at thedittamorgroup.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-656-1551. That's 800-656-1551. 800-656-1551.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
97.1 FM Talk presents Talk in Action, where we shine a spotlight on local charities making a difference in our community. Join us as we give back and connect neighbors in need. Visit 971talk.com/talkinaction to learn more. You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie. Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. That YouTube live chat poll on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. Come say hi. YouTube.com/@AnnieFry, F-R-E-Y. We are asking you to grade the snow removal in your area, A, B/C, D, or F. Brad, what's your grade on this poll here today?
B. So B/C is what I would vote. I would give my area a high B. That's because the state of Illinois did a pretty decent job on the highways coming in. My township would have got, if it was just them, they get an A.
Yeah?
Yeah, whenever I came out of my road's not a snow route, but as soon as I hit the snow routes on, what was that, Monday morning, they were clear.
Yeah.
Like as clear as you could get a sleeted road done. I was impressed. I made it into work way faster than I thought it would because of some of the work they did. But then I got to downtown St. Louis and not as good. I'm not sure that they had a plow out yet by the time I got here. So I give them, that takes it to a high B.
Ryan?
I'm not counting downtown St. Louis as my area because that would affect the judgment. But I understand.
Yeah. And this is really interpretive.
Yeah.
Because I would say it would be the roads you had to drive.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But
I'm talking about my area, like where I live, so not including downtown. I give them an A.
Yeah.
They've really done a great, because I live on a little side street cul-de-sac, and they've still plowed.
On the bluff, though.
You know what? We probably get a little more attention because we're on such a big hill, because they know that's like, you got to get that main road right there because it's like a disaster waiting to happen. But they've done a great job. All the roads that I've driven have at least had a good amount of attention constantly.
Yeah, I feel like locally in the Edwardsville area that I'm in Madison County. Madison County's so big, but they get at least a B.
Yeah.
And downtown St. Louis, man, what is the deal?
I heard somebody saying the other day that there are different contracts for ramps.
Listen, folks. Coming downtown St. Louis, you get off the Stan Musial Bridge, to your point, off of the Stan Musial Bridge onto Tucker. The ramp was like a sledding event to go down there, but then the sidewalks, I mean, this is downtown. I understand if you don't have like neighborhood sidewalks scooped up right now, but it's downtown St. Louis. Do you know what people do in downtown St. Louis when the sidewalks aren't scraped off? They just walk down the middle of the street.
Yes. No, that's
in
true.
Downtown,
Oh, man.
Like pedestrians everywhere, and they don't walk on the side of the street. They walk down the middle of your lane as if they are a vehicle.
That's the only place that you kind of can walk in a lot of areas.
And those lanes are covered in a sheet of ice.
Yeah.
St. Louis, get it together. And I mean that in such a broad sense.
Well, it's funny because the statewide stuff, whether it be Missouri or Illinois in this case, is worse than the local stuff. So if you have whether it be the ramps or whatever, that's state stuff as far as I understand it, and the local stuff's always better.
Well, let's talk about it. I want to know from you at 314-241-9797 how you feel about the snow removal in your area. You'll have to let us know what your area is and what you think about it. We're going to try to get through these phone calls quickly. If you want to talk also about your thoughts and feelings on snow days versus remote learning versus get your butts back in school, I'd love to hear from you there as well. 314-241-9797. Patrick, thank you for calling the Annie Fry Show. You going to give us a grade here?
Yeah, I'd say you guys, you're definitely a middle A for sure. I'd say right just below an A+.
Where are you located,
as far
Patrick?
as when it comes to, you guys are doing great on the show. Thank you. I enjoy listening to you every day for lunch, and just wanted to. You guys pretty much took all the words out of my mouth.
Oh. And Patrick, what area were you in where you said you gave him an A?
Well, I meant you guys get an A for the radio show.
Okay.
As far as the plowing.
Well, that's great. Yeah, I appreciate that.
As far as the plowing,
That's my favorite
yeah, up in Lincoln County, Missouri, they've done a really good job with our county roads. Now, I understand it's hard for MoDOT to keep up with all of the roads throughout all the different counties. But, yeah, just play it safe, be careful, and please don't be out there acting a fool. And that's
talking to
pretty
you,
much it.
Ryan. That was to you, Wiggins.
I was going to say, I feel attacked.
That's Wiggins.
Patrick, starting at 3, I was going to go act a fool. But now after talking to you.
Now under Patrick's advice. Hey, Patrick, thanks for making this part of your afternoon. We appreciate you.
Yeah, have a good day, guys. Be careful.
Yep, you too. Bye-bye. Kim, thanks for calling the Annie Fry Show. You got a grade for the snow removal in your area?
D.
C? And what area are you in,
No,
Kim?
no, a D. A D as in David. And so I live in Kirkwood, but I work in near Forest Park at the Barnes Hospital facility, and also I work at West County. And they get a D because I live in Kirkwood, and the Lindbergh from Manchester Road to Frontenac, they did nothing until Wednesday.
That's a pretty busy
road. And it was horrible. And it's a very busy road, and it's steep. It's super steep hills. And I got to a point that I wasn't even going that way. I was going Manchester to Brentwood to get to the downtown Barnes. And it was bad. I think it's the worst it's ever been.
Man,
and
I'm hearing a lot of that people are like, this is crazy. They're not expecting it to be the way that it is.
Well, I couldn't believe that they did nothing. And it didn't even look like they had pre-treated anything. And, you know, it was so forecasted. They knew it was coming.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't think it was just a fact of the cold and how much weather came down. I think it's a matter that they just didn't get to it until Wednesday.
Kim, thanks for the phone call. We appreciate you. Stay safe, stay warm.
Okay, bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. Let's get to Eric. Eric, thank you for calling the Annie Fry Show. You want to talk about roads, or do you want to talk about school and learning remotely or snow daying or whatever?
How about both real quick, if I may?
Yeah, let us have it.
Okay. City of St. Louis, I can absolutely assure you without a doubt that they do not have enough personnel or equipment to do the job. I'm going to give them a C+, B- with my personal knowledge of the situation.
Okay.
I mean, they've done the best they can with what they have. Now, I also agree with you on the schools as far as the remote learning goes, but I think it's age irrelevant. I think it's subject irrelevant because they can teach them civics, how the government works. They can teach them how banking works, how to balance and reconcile a checking account.
Like a life skills
exactly.
e-learning day? That's a good idea. I like that.
Personal responsibility, social responsibility, the Constitution. There are so many things that are readily available that aren't taught anymore that they could teach grade level, age appropriate to anyone at any time, anywhere in the Continental.
I'm okay with that. I think that's a great idea. Yeah. You could have a curriculum written. I don't want the government to write the curriculum. Somebody.
Right.
Wait a second.
Right.
I'm thinking out loud.
Right.
Leave me alone.
Well, hey, we're the ones initiating this project.
There you go.
We
right.
can go from there.
Eric, you are the
Thank
czar of life skill snow day learning. We appreciate it.
No, I do not want a czar title. Those don't work out well.
Yeah, you're going to have to go through congressional testimony and everything to get that title. So.
You think he'll get confirmed? We'll have to wait and see. Eric, thanks for listening.
Have a good one.
You too.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
I do like that. Like e-learning just becomes its completely own subject.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea.
I was like laughing to myself in my head. Can you imagine like tuning in to your remote class, you're checking in, like teachers like, today we're going to watch a movie.
I mean, that's what it would be.
Stream a movie.
It would be like going to a driver's ed class where they're like, here, you got in an accident. Here's what you shouldn't have done. Ran into a guy.
But if you, you dummy. Can I tell a driver's ed story real quick?
Oh, please.
One of my favorite stories of my entire educational career, I was in driver's ed, and the driver's ed instructor was talking to our class, and he made the point, and I'm going to get these numbers wrong, but that's not the detail that matters. He said like 75% of all accidents happen within 10 miles of your home. And this kid raises his hand and goes, why wouldn't you just move 20 miles away?
Was he serious?
Dead.
Really?
Dead
It wasn't a
serious.
joke.
And we were all like,
So I'd ask, sir, where do you live?
The teacher was like the wrestling coach and a PE instructor and a driver. So that's not the person who's like, well, dear. Just like on the face of this teacher, he's like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Oh, my gosh, that's great.
This guy's living in 2033.
There might be people listening right now who are in that driver's ed class with me, and they know they were there. They remember that.
Man, follow-up question. Sir, can you draw a radius of 10 miles around your house?
I'm going to need to know where that is. I'm going to need to know
to
that
avoid this
location.
area.
You'd think they do something about that.
Yeah.
Plow the roads, maybe.
No kidding.
Let's get to David. David, thanks for calling the Annie Fry Show. You want to give us a grade on the snow removal, or you want to talk about education and e-learning?
Both, please. Maryland Heights gets a B.
Okay, that's not a bad grade. If you're getting a B,
Yeah, that's fair. That's
because this
good.
weather has been gnarly.
Yeah, and on the schools, I think there's a wonderful solution to give every child 2 packets at the beginning of the school year, and if they run out of snow days, to have them open up the packet and give them things like a short story to read, something about the planets, something about government, whatever, where they can do under the supervision of a parent or a neighbor's parent or whatever.
Sneak into that packet that Pluto is still a planet for the millennials,
Yeah.
for sure. But
Yeah,
like a prepared thing that they can dip into when remote learning comes about.
And it'd be easy for the school district to approve it. It could be part of a contingency plan, and it's very low cost. We used to do it through like Great Books program, where you would enrich, the learning experience by having kids read other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason it can't be approved contingency to say, and the other thing is they can also do the same thing through remote learning through the same packet.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's something to being prepared ahead of time and having a plan so that they can do something. And I would really push too, David, that whatever is included, it should be fun. Like it shouldn't feel like your normal classwork or whatever. It should be kind of like when you get to go outside for science class because you're going to like look at leaves or something. It's just a different way of doing the day and learning, and a little more exciting and probably memorable.
If it's lighter, the kids will look forward to it.
Yeah, I think so too. David, thanks for the phone call. Thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Great show, guys.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. I don't think it would be hard to do. A couple callers ago, totally depends on the age. I'm thinking pretty much of middle school and up. I remember when we were in COVID times and my third child, Evelyn, was in pre-K, maybe? What the heck are you doing? Like, she just didn't do pre-K.
Oh, yeah.
My oldest daughter would have been in second grade? I think second grade. Second or third grade.
Yeah, mine were in kindergarten. It was just worthless.
Well, yeah, stupid. But if you were to... I just think there are things that you could do that are observational. There are things that you could do. Your wife might like this. You could write. You don't need any technology to do that. And you could have the potential to... communication goes out through emails and stuff. You pretty much have to have access to an email as a parent in order to have your kids in school. Maybe it's writing assignments. It's short paragraphs of this, that, and the other thing or something. But something that gets them to do something. And again, you get a couple snow days, 2-3 snow days. And then after that, you can spend the time doing e-learning. Here's a wild conversation I had with my husband over Christmas break. I actually think that that schools should focus on offering the opportunity to go full remote. And you've got kids who are in, maybe modified learning because they have some learning. Now, I don't think they call them disabilities anymore, but learning differences than other kids. So you teach them in a guided fashion that way. You have kids who are in honors classes. So you have a track of kids who are in a different structured classroom who are honors classes. I think it would be cool for some schools to be able to have teachers who are willing to partner their educational instruction also who would be willing to take on remote kids, because I think that there are kids who may want to do somewhat of a hybrid, like kind of homeschool type of a thing. Maybe they travel with their family. They could spend more time with their family if their family travels. I just think that we should be looking into the opportunity to expand how we educate our kids. Obviously, you cannot point at the test scores right now, hardly anywhere in the public school system, and be like, we are not going to mess with this.
Yeah. I like David's idea that everybody gets a packet you take home.
There's no way that packet exists in week 2 of school. You're going to have to put it in a lock box.
Well,
and then you're going to have to remember where the lock box is and the combination to get into the lock box. Nope.
Well, I mean, maybe they're just prepared a little more fresh, like they have some cookies in them, maybe some mints, chocolates for the kids. A little model of a planet. You know, you talked about the solar
Pluto.
system. You're like, oh, I got Mars. Oh, I got the Triton moon of Neptune. You know, they're learning. And they take those home. They really have a good time with them, just like he was saying. Everybody goes home happy.
Yeah.
I don't know that the government could lead those
Teacher, I
things.
can't find my packet. Yeah. And then the kids are like, Mom, where'd you put my packet? And you're like, it's not my packet. That's your packet.
I wanted Venus. It's too hot, son. Put it back in the oven. Because you got to heat Venus up. I don't know if you caught that. Yeah, it's all about being realistic with the learning.
I'm lost. Let's take a break. Let's hand it over to Ryan in the next segment for The Bee or Not the Bee, Ryan Wigginson's very own segment, Wiggins America, here on Fridays on the Annie Fry Show. You can hang out with us and join us on the Annie Fry YouTube channel and play along. Will the stories that he reads be from the Babylon Bee, or will they be actual real-life stories that are not the Bee, not satire? The Bee or Not the Bee on Wiggins America, next on the Annie Fry Show.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on X at Annie Fry Show.
Stuart's American Mortgage. Maybe you're inside today and you got a little extra time on your hands because you too are working from home. And just like the kids who are learning from home, you're not doing anything. If that's the case, consider reaching out to Stewie, 314-324-4440. You can call him or text him at 314-324-4440 and finally make the move on seeing if the bagel loan is right for you. If you're purchasing a home, you've got no business not making this phone call or text message. Maybe you don't end up going that direction in the long run, but if you miss out on the opportunity to get a mortgage that has $0 in closing costs, what are we even doing here? Save yourself that money because it's going to be thousands of dollars at the end of that transaction. You can also do a refinance with your current mortgage, maybe bump that interest rate that you just got in the last year or two down a little bit. You can maybe take some of that equity that's built over and over and over in these past couple years in your home and put it towards something that's a little bit better for you economically. It starts with this phone call to Stewie, 314-324-4440, Google the Bagel Loan, NMLS number 226715.
Gain peace of mind that your flooring and carpet installation will be done right the first time when you hire the experts at Michael's Flooring Outlet. They give all their clients attentive personal service, even bring toys for the kids of the household. It's a family-owned and operated business for 25-plus years. They make sure you make the right choice for your home. So if you have carpets or hard floors, you're going to be happy for years to come. 3 convenient locations in St. Charles County, 116 Main Street, in Old Town St. Peters at Mid-Rivers and Highway 70, in West County on Olive, and the store in Darden Prairie. Michael's Flooring Outlet, IGotFloor.com.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
Grade the snow removal. Hey, we're back.
He is out of
since
practice.
Monday.
Oh, man.
We'll do grade the snow removal today, and then I'll put up a Saturday poll, which is grade Ryan Wiggins' Friday performance.
YouTube live chat poll: grade the snow removal in your area. A, B, C,
How do you
D,
spell that?
or F.
M-O-E?
It's spelled the same,
D-A-L?
actually, amazingly.
Like Larry and Curly?
I think there's an H.
No, it's spelled the same. It's all in the pronunciation. And it's up to interpretations. The English language, you can do whatever you want.
I don't think that's true. Ask your wife, who knows a lot about...
Look, if somebody has a weird name, you can just say, my name's pronounced Rian from now on. And people are like, oh, I guess that's what I got to say. I don't care about the rules of the English language. 1246, this time check. I really got off on a tangent there. Is brought to you by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
You've got thoughts. Did you know you also have a microphone? Listen to 97.1 on the Odyssey app and click the microphone to leave a voice message. Whatever's on your mind, let us know by clicking the microphone in the Odyssey app. This is the Annie Fry Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Fry Show.
Wiggins. Oh, Wiggins.
The bee or not the bee.
All right, here we go with the bee or not the bee. I was just doing some little housekeeping there on the other part of my job. All right.
What other part of your job?
I was cutting some audio in there and putting it in a folder.
Why are you talking like that?
It's all done now.
Speaking of other parts of jobs,
yeah.
On last Friday, Ryan, before we get started, I have to bring this up. As you remember, probably, I was barely surviving, like just about to get super sick as to what I was last weekend.
Bird flu?
Maybe, who knows? We may never know. And the one thing that Ryan said to me outside of when we were in studio was he walks up to me as I'm suffering at my desk and says, "What's up, you sick piece of crap?"
Ryan!
I did do that.
Why?
It was funny. I thought Ethan would get a kick out of it, raise his spirits a bit.
Anything for a joke.
No, I was looking out for Ethan.
Did Ethan smile when you said that?
I think so. He was wearing a hoodie and completely covered his face. So I think behind that like Ewok thing that he was wearing.
Ethan, did you file an HR complaint? Or is this it? We just send the tape.
This is it.
Okay.
This is it right here.
I'm not denying it either.
Can you imagine sitting down with HR? Not Steve, because Steve would just laugh. Can you imagine sitting down with HR and they're like, Mr. Wiggins, it says here that you said to one Mr. Hannaford.
Uh-huh. What's up, you sick piece of crap? It was actually worse than that.
Worse than that.
He's cleaning it up.
And you're like, yes, ma'am, that is correct. And then
you know what, though?
And then you got to explain it. How do you explain it?
I wouldn't. I would just do that famous little smile.
And then he came back like 2 minutes later and said, "I don't usually curse."
You felt that much guilt?
I was just that committed that I thought that would be that funny to say to him.
Like if I was going to go into the joke, I got to go all the way or not do it at all.
He looked terrible. He looked so bad. And I was
Ethan's
like, what can I say
in
to just
affirmation.
pile on?
It was an awful day.
As Reardon has said, if you're listening to Reardon at all too, they've been working on some HVAC stuff out the window. So they've been keeping the window next to Ethan and Y98 and Brad's office and Reardon's office open. So it's been super cold. And so Ethan's bundled up, just looking like he's just about to die, but still
That's
working.
What it felt like too.
Yeah. All right,
but
you ready?
I pushed through and I made it.
Hey, good job.
Yeah.
Here we go. The bee or not the bee? First one. Problem solved. Newsom announces plan to make fire illegal.
Oh. Be the first thing in California that was illegal.
Yeah.
Is it a little obnoxious to listen to the way that they're talking about like looting and all of that stuff? They're like, absolutely under no circumstances will any of this be taking place. And it's like, but you could go down to the city where it's not on fire, and as long as you calculate the right amount of money, you can. I mean, I think they changed some of that stuff in at least the LA County this last election, but California has been permitting this type of behavior elsewhere for years.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, obviously, this is the right way to look at it.
And I'm sure they're sending a real strong message right now because looters are going, oh, man.
Man, they
really
serious
got
about this
serious. I guess I'll stop looting.
I'm saying the B.
It is the B. After doing some research on this problem, it occurred to me that all these wildfires have one thing in common. Fire. Newsom said to reporters. The move has met significant opposition from marijuana lobbyist groups, though, who put up enough of a fuss that Newsom quickly allowed a provision stating that Californians can make fire as long as it's for doing drugs.
Checks out.
It does, doesn't it? All right, next one. Awkward. Mourners at Jimmy Carter's funeral place flowers on Biden.
Okay. Brad's taking over.
Well, Brad's right.
Oh, man. I thought maybe there was
There's a chance.
Yeah, I thought there was a chance.
There's a 1 in 10 that could actually happen, but
that's pretty high. That's pretty crazy.
This is the B. There had been a line going up at the cathedral to put flowers on Jimmy, said Vivian Gleckler, a White House staffer, and a few of the people in line accidentally stopped to start laying flowers on Biden instead. One of them even tried to close his eyes. It got really awkward after they split into 2 lines, with one going to each president to pay their respects.
Did you see that Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood sang Imagine at the funeral?
Oh, no. I watched a lot of that funeral, too. I didn't miss that.
No, you didn't. You watched the presidents.
Well,
you
sort
watched
of.
the
No, I was watching it live,
drama.
though.
You took in the service?
Yeah. I watched a lot because I was in the hospital just sitting there.
That's true. Is there a less Christian song than Imagine?
No, that song's terrible.
It's
theologically.
Dramatically sad and devoid.
Yes, because it's like, you know what we could do is forget about God and eternity and just try to be happy.
Yeah. How's that working out for you?
You're going to do okay with that?
Yeah, and you're saying this after the person who's in the casket is done doing those things.
They sang Imagine at his funeral?
And you get Garth Brooks. I'd rather him sing Thunder Rolls.
There's a line in there that says, imagine there's no heaven.
I know.
Why would you sing that at anybody's funeral?
I don't know. These people make bad decisions.
I heard that Jimmy Carter was a Christian over and over and over for the last 3 weeks.
No, what you heard is he was a good person.
He was a good yeah, that's true.
That's how you get Imagine at your funeral.
No kidding.
I saw a side-by-side video of the pastor saying a prayer, and next to it was Ben Stiller in Meet the Parents trying to say his prayer when he's not a Christian at the table. And it's like, it sounds like quotes from God. So he's like, to see thee more clearly. It sounded just like it. It was so funny.
Oh, Godspeed's such a weird musical. All right, next one. Elon Musk creating new mega corporate town called Starbase.
Real?
Good town.
In Texas?
I think this could be real.
Yeah, I'm going to say real also.
This is real.
Yeah.
Musk is planning to establish a town in coastal South Texas, and creating a new municipality in Texas requires residents and voter support, but it's all happening.
Do you know that's like what Walt Disney really wanted to do with Epcot?
I do know that. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, although Elon Musk might be able to afford it.
Elon, will you please buy Disney? Please.
That would be great.
This is where you say, how much is it?
I'm wondering how long, I wonder what the timeline would be to like get something like that really going and for it to actually like.
So there are already 500 people living in this little area, but it's just a corporate town basically for SpaceX. And they want to incorporate. So it's already existing. They just want to call it Starbase, and he's all for it, and he's helping make it happen because he thinks it's kind of fun, apparently. Per the New York Times, earlier this month.
What is it like to be that wealthy?
Must be nice having that much money.
The employees took a big step forward, making Starbase a town, and started taking signatures and filing a petition to hold an election.
Wow.
I wonder if he becomes king of Starbase.
Or
Well,
Pope.
I was going to say, what would he be? Emperor? I wonder what his choice title would be.
Well, if there's an election, I don't think he could be emperor.
He's making the rules.
Well, okay. I guess, yeah.
There's some
We're gonna
places.
incorporate, but on one condition.
Ryan, there are some places that have elections that aren't exactly above board.
We need to get Trump.
It's most of the rest of the world.
I don't think in America, especially in Texas, they're going to be like, yeah, let's just make him the emperor.
Let's just go back and check out 2020.
We need Trump AI of him saying Emperor Elon.
I wish I could do a Trump impersonation. I did it in my head. It was funny. I'm not going to embarrass myself here by trying out loud.
Biden comforts fire victims by telling about how he once ordered a steak medium, but it was served well done.
No. gosh. B.
Please be the
Are
B.
you sure?
B.
It is the B.
Oh, my God.
God, can you imagine? Thank you very much.
Second.
Yeah, boom, twice, 3 times. Quote, now look, Jack, Biden explained, gazing at the crowd of huddled, hollow-eyed fire refugees. One time I was at a restaurant, and I asked Jill to order my steak medium, just the way I like it. I can't stand pink in my steak, so I told her, get it, the way. But when they brought me the steak, it was all brown, and I didn't like it. Biden continued his story, revealing that everything
Did the Babble
had
and
gotten
actually
better.
write this story?
Yeah, they did.
Oh my gosh. I'm not comfortable with it.
Yeah.
I wasn't comfortable with him being on the news and say
What?
I didn't know.
You're not close to where the end, or did you?
Well, anyway. I don't even know what I was saying. Thank you.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. It's good to be
Hey.
back. We'll be right back.
Hey, honey, you could be my drug. You could be my new prescription. Too much could be an overdose.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-656-1551. That's 800-656-1551. 800-656-1551.
Financial health is more than just really the investments. You have to look at tax consequences. You have to think about legacy planning or generational planning or your healthcare options. Those all go together with your financial health.
Join Matt Goolsby for Retire Hour to hear his team in finance, healthcare, estate, and taxes discuss changes in law, strategic planning, and answer listener questions. Submit your questions to be answered live on air at retirehour.com. Retire Hour, Sundays at 7 a.m., right here on KFTK.
Greg Hammonds at greghammonds.com wants to remind you that if you pay for your own health insurance, open enrollment ends January 15th. If you are looking for coverage, do not go online looking for quotes. You'll get endless calls from call centers, and they will not stop. Instead, call Greg, an expert with over 40 years experience, and he can provide sound advice for your health insurance needs. Their plans, if you qualify, let you pick your doctors, and it's 30 to 60% lower cost than Obamacare. The monthly premiums are independent of your income, so there will be no surprise tax bills. If you pay for your own health insurance, own a small business, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg at 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to greghammonds.com. That's greghammonds.com. They will custom design a plan managed by you, not the government.
Hey Max, you look sharp in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world as a guide dog?
You bet, Daisy. And your purple service dog vest really pops against your shiny fur.
First day on the job for both of us. We've got this, right?
You bet. Dogs Inc. trained us well.
Ready to make a difference for our humans?
Born ready.
Discover how extraordinary guide and service dogs change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
A message from the White House to California. Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Biden again pledging whatever help is needed in a wildfire battle.
This is not going to be over even when all the fires are out. It's just going to be beginning.
California Governor Gavin Newsom condemning what he calls misinformation.
And we're going to have to address that as well. And it breaks my heart
as people are suffering and struggling.
President-elect Trump accusing the governor and L.A. mayor of incompetence and mismanagement. The two biggest L.A. area fires have killed at least 10 people, destroying thousands of homes and other buildings. The president-elect again denying wrongdoing and calling a New York hush money case a witch hunt, as Judge Juan Merchan sentenced him today to an unconditional discharge, meaning no jail, fine, or probation, as he prepares to become president again 10 days from now.
And the people of this country understand what's gone on. This has been a weaponization of government. They call it lawfare. Never happened to any extent like this, but never happened in our country before. And I'd just like to exclaim that I was treated very, very unfairly.
He plans to appeal the convictions for falsifying business records. The U.S. Supreme Court hears arguments over a law requiring TikTok to split from its Chinese parent company or face a U.S. ban.
The heart of the TikTok matter is whether or not forcing a sale or facing being banned is a First Amendment issue. And Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson wonders why a divested TikTok just can't use a different algorithm than one controlled by a China-based company.
Doesn't say TikTok you
I
can't
think that's
speak.
theoretically correct, Your Honor, but I think that also underscores the content-based nature of the restriction.
No, but the fact that that's true suggests that you're wrong about the statute being read as saying TikTok you have to go mute.
TikTok argues the ban violates free speech because it takes away their editorial control.
Fox's Evan Brown. TikTok also argues a ban would violate users' free speech rights. America is listening to Fox News.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
You said bye-bye to big government. Now it's time to trim the fat from big wireless. Pure Talk gives you the exact same service. They use the same cell towers, the same 5G network. You get better customer service, and you pay half the price for the exact same thing. Get unlimited talk, text, 15 gigs of data with mobile hotspot for just $35 a month. Make the switch. You simply dial pound 250, say the keyword save now, save an additional 50% off your first month. Pure Talk, America's wireless company.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Our little southern storm system on the way out, though it's a slow process as it heads into the Tennessee Valley. So we're cloudy all afternoon, light snow tapering off to snow flurries. Still some road problems out there. Take it easy, take it slow. 32 for the high. Tonight, clouds, snow flurries around, especially during the evening. 20. The weekend, Saturday, mostly sunny and 32. Sunday, partly sunny, 36. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The holiday season may be coming to a close, but there's still plenty of time to make it a magical one. Ring in the new year with something stunning and timeless from Diamonds Direct. Start the new year with a celebration of your love, or even a celebration of yourself. Whether you're shopping for the perfect wedding bands, a beautiful pair of diamond studs that were missing from under your tree, or the engagement ring of their dreams, Diamonds Direct has just what you're wishing for. This year, make your New Year's resolution to shop smarter by shopping direct. Making a decision on where to make your next jewelry purchase has never been easier. At Diamonds Direct, you're guaranteed to get an extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and the white glove service that we've long been known for. Let the experts at Diamonds Direct show you the difference in a concierge luxury shopping experience. Kick off the new year the way you've always wanted. Customize your experience in-store or online at DiamondsDirect.com today. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
The 28th Winter Warm-Up is coming to Busch Stadium and Ballpark Village January 18th through the 20th. The event features 3 days full of non-stop Cardinals family-friendly fun, including tours of the Cardinals clubhouse, admission to the world-class Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum, plus access to the Cardinals Care Store, autographs, auctions, and an exhibit hall full of sports memorabilia and more. Tickets are on sale now. Proceeds benefit Cardinals Care and its mission to care for kids in the community. Find more details at cardinals.com/WWU.
You've listened to 97.1 FM Talk. You've heard of Doug Voss of Voss Financial and Safe Money Radio, as he has been a staple as the financial expert on the station for many years. You can hear him on Safe Money Radio several times a weekend right here on 97.1 FM Talk. And you can talk to Doug Voss directly. Here's his number. Call Doug at 844-676-SAFE. That is 844-676-7233. Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through D.H. Hill Securities, LLLP. Member FINRA and SIPC.
Want to retire in 5 years or less? You can do it, just like Lifestyles Unlimited member Lisa.
So we started passively. It was on vacation is when we realized we really need to take the plunge and be more active in this. Just because I'm an educator, I wanted to really know what I was doing. So it was just education on my part is really big. And I'm like, well, I could do that.
Text the word radio to 88007. That's radio to 88007. Join for just $297, a 60% savings. Lifestyles Unlimited. Text radio to 88007.
The Annie Fry Show YouTube live chat poll of the day is happening now. Tune in to the Annie Fry Show live stream. Vote and be a part of the conversation by typing in Annie Fry on YouTube. Subscribe and leave a comment.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Well, welcome back. It's snowy. Is it still snowing out here? We've got the shades down.
I think it is.
When I came in, oh yeah, look at it. I'm going to open this here real quick.
Okay. Do it live. Do it live. Yeah, it's still snowing.
I kid you not, there are people walking down the middle of the street right now. Although here at Soldiers Memorial, they did shovel the outside of the sidewalks.
Oh, do they?
This is a gorgeous snow.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful.
It looks like a Hallmark snow. Just very consistent. Some of the snowflakes are going up. Some of them are going down. Nice to look at from the inside.
This is what it looked like when I watched the movie Hot Frosty a couple weeks ago. What?
That look.
I don't watch those kind of movies.
I don't either. My wife was watching them. She was grading. I wouldn't watch that trash. It was filth. But it was for families. It was family filth. Because it was about a hot Frosty. See, it's about a snowman who comes alive, but he's ripped.
Oh, look, it is.
Yeah, it really is. That's the premise of the movie.
It's got Gretchen Wieners in it from Mean Girls.
Gretchen Wiemer?
Yeah, the one whose dad invented toaster strudels.
I do remember that. I don't remember the girl. I remember the toaster. I remember toaster strudels. Really, is what I'm saying.
How many times can you say toaster strudels in consecutive fashion?
Toaster strudel, toaster strudel, toaster strudel, toaster strudel. Oh, it was 4.
Keep going. I said how many times?
No, keep that one for Trivial Pursuit next time. No, that might show up. How many times can Wiggins say toaster strudel in a row? Anyway, Hot Frosty was not a bad movie.
It wasn't a bad movie?
No, they had a lot of this. You know, if you're seeing the snow, it was a lot of this kind of snow. It was very pretty. It was a little coastal town, probably a New England town.
Guess what? The hot dude's name is Jack. You know why? I bet he's Jack Frosty.
Ooh, I don't know.
You saw the movie.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't understand, though, why he's wearing a denim T-shirt with the sleeves cut off.
You know what? He wears no shirt a lot for the winter. Like, in that whole movie, you'd think...
It's the same problem we have with Ethan.
Except when he's sick. That's why I knew he was sick, because he was all bundled up.
That's how you do.
Otherwise, he's like
you gotta put those
drawing
guns away
lines
here.
around his pecs and stuff, because he's thinking like, oh, this will be on the live stream. Okay, here's
a little shade.
A little grease here.
Yeah, well, the people who've been on the live stream, they know.
Yeah, you know.
Shirtless
if you're just listening, you probably have no idea that Ethan is always shirtless.
He does wear a stocking cap, though, because he gets cold.
Mm-hmm. It's winter. Anyways.
He's probably helping with the Reardon Show. We will continue this bit whenever he leaves our show.
Right. Yeah, if he's not in on it, it's a little odd. Anyway, just to conclude, though,
at the end of Hot Frosty, he does start to melt.
Don't give it away.
And no, I don't want to give away the entire ending, but I am.
But I do.
He starts to melt, but the town comes together, and they were going to put him in jail. I can't remember why.
What kind of crimes did Hot Frosty do? I really think that this is not the kind of movie that you thought it was.
It's not. I thought it was going to be. My wife's like, "Hey, let's sit down and watch a movie
what
called
time
Hot
of day
Frosty,"
did
and I was like, "Sweet."
All right, let's go.
But then it was
your kids are at
it was
home
rated.
right now?
It was rated G. It's actually a pretty cute little film. And anyway, the town comes together at the end, and they save Hot Frosty from A, going to jail, which is really unfortunate, and then B, from melting.
You were in the industry.
Right, yeah.
How do you sit down at a table and be like, guys, I got an idea?
I don't know.
How do people go, I think we can make that film?
I can tell you exactly how. You go, Christmas makes a lot of money, right? And they go, yeah. And they go, okay, well, how about Hot Frosty? And they're like, great, here's $10 million.
They probably thought they were making the other movie.
No, trust me. When it comes to crappy Christmas movies, Hollywood's going to shovel some money at them.
We're going to make Hot Frosty. We're going to get that chick from Mean Girls. It's going to be great. And then he turned out to get Gretchen Wiemers, who is maybe 3 or 4 in the ranking of Mean Girls. Mm-hmm. And it's about a G-rated prison-bound snowman.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he was prison-bound for the whole movie, but eventually. He does something that was just like, ooh, man, that was off color. You need to be in jail. But I think the moral of the tale is that we're each a Hot Frosty in our own way.
I don't want to know. You keep that to yourself.
No, that's the moral. You don't need to expand on that. Everybody understands.
Speaking of Frosty, did you see Karen Pence?
No, I didn't see Karen.
Did you see?
I saw Mike.
Did you see? Karen was sitting next to Mike Pence at Jimmy Carter's funeral. This was before they desecrated a worship service funeral with Imagine. Karen Pence was sitting down next to Mike Pence. Donald Trump walks in with Melania. Al Gore springs into action and shakes Donald Trump's hand.
No kidding.
Mike Pence shakes his hand. Karen Pence sat next to him, stayed seated, averted her eyes, and did not stand up to shake her hand. Some people are saying it's like super classless for her to do that.
Ooh.
What do you think?
I guess it depends on the relationship that Mike Pence and Donald Trump have. Because I have no idea what their relationship is like.
Donald Trump's hand.
So there's at least some cordial friendship there. I don't know if they're good, but
do you think Mike Pence is a good man?
I do, and I don't think Donald Trump. My guess is that he and Donald Trump had conversations going into the election season and said, I'm sure. I don't know why I'm sure, but I am sure that they talked, and he said, "Listen, Mike, we're going different directions." And that Mike Pence probably understood that fully well, that he was not going to be the pick this time. So I would, if I were Mike Pence, I might be mad that things played out the way that they did. That
I doubt they even had conversations going into this election about that. No.
Oh,
I would assume that those conversations took place. I mean, Mike Pence has said since January 6th, which is really where the Pence-Trump relationship dramatically parted ways. Because if that wouldn't have gone that way, I still don't think Donald Trump would have picked Mike Pence.
It would have been harder for him not to,
no.
But I don't think he would either.
I think Donald Trump is the Kool-Aid man who runs in any room the way he wants to.
Well, that's true.
But I have heard Mike Pence say that he and Donald Trump have had the discussions about, a lot of people, and they're very much so on the left, are all of a sudden great defenders of Mike Pence. Why? As always, because they feel as though defending Mike Pence is a punch against Donald Trump. They don't care about Mike Pence. They care about attacking Donald Trump. So when you take up the virtue of Mike Pence because you think that somehow or another that amplifies the J6 message that you think needs to be out there, then, I mean, that's as gross as it gets anyway. You're just using what you are saying regarding what happened to Mike Pence and how terrible it is. You're just using that for your own benefit. You don't care about making anything better. But I have heard Pence say, I think in interviews on Fox, that, and it was before, because he ran for president for a minute, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And people were like, nah.
In 2023.
Yeah, he was
Four?
on. He was at the
Yeah.
first debate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I do.
Weird. Karen is sitting next to Mike Pence, and the Trumps might as well have not even been there. She acted as though she couldn't even see that they were there. Do you blame her?
Yeah, kind of. If Mike Pence is cool with them.
Was that the wrong move?
Yeah, I don't think it seemed like Mike Pence and Donald Trump. Again, you may disagree, but I think
that
Mike
Pence should think for Karen.
I think they have a mutual respect for each other, and they disagree on some things, and they parted ways.
Do you think that Mike Pence and his business relationship with Donald Trump is a different set of standards and circumstances than being the wife of Mike Pence? I mean, Trump has said some crap things about Mike Pence.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe that's. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's a tough spot to be.
Here's what I'm saying. This is all I'm saying, and I think that what Karen Pence did yesterday was very intentional. Obviously, there's no way for it not to be intentional. Your natural reflexive reaction would be to stand up and shake hands, and then, I don't want to shake your hand. She did that very intentionally. But I think that Karen fiercely loves Mike. And I'm looking at those two, and I'm watching real people react the way real people react. Meanwhile, Jill Biden, who comes in a little bit later and sits in the front row next to Kamala Harris and Dougie, Jill Biden has trotted her senile husband out for the world to laugh at. That's not love. Here's all I'm saying. I think that what Karen did was beneath the second lady, the former second lady of the United States. I think it wasn't the classiest thing that she could have done in that moment, but I get it. Because that is, to me, what somebody who is standing by her man, that makes sense in my mind. One of my favorite phrases, it is a very worthy explanation that doesn't also equate being an excuse. What do you think, Brad?
Well, as a husband, what I would think is I would want my wife to have that initial visceral reaction to somebody that she feels wronged me. I would want her to feel that way because what that tells me is that she does have some sort of deep affection and deep care about me, and that there's that order and magnitude of respect. That communicates a lot about her, about what she feels about her husband. Now, would I want my wife to actually do it? Probably not. I think that it would if I were talking to my wife before going into that situation, I'm going to be like, honey, I know how you feel about this, but I need you to set that aside just for the moment that we greet them, be polite, be nice, and we'll get through this. And
what if she doesn't want to?
That I would just convey my feelings to her, and I would leave it
Tell
at
her
that.
how you feel, and then she gets to do what
she
chooses.
gets to make her own decision.
How would you mansplain it to your wife? Listen, woman.
First of all, I'd sit her down and I'd say right here. I'd point at my eyes.
Eyes.
Watch my eyes as we speak. And I'd say, here's what I need you to do today. I need you to pretend you like Donald Trump. And if you can't do that, my allegiance is to my country. What about yours? That's what I would say.
You wouldn't say that to your wife?
Okay, maybe I wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't.
But we would have a serious discussion about it. And I would probably come away from that discussion a better man because she would put me in my place. In a sense, I'm her hot Frosty.
I'm going to text her.
You can ask her if we watch that movie together. She will tell you yes while we rapped.
All I want to know is who put the movie on.
She did. I did not put that movie on.
We'll find out.
Let's not kid ourselves.
We'll go to the source.
Let's not kid ourselves.
Hot Frosty.
Would you say that Mike Pence is anyone in this country's hot Frosty?
Karen's. Obviously. Heck yeah. I think there is love in that relationship.
You know who else did not shake Donald Trump's hand? Michelle Obama.
She wasn't there.
She wasn't there.
Why?
Don't know.
Should she have been? She's the only one that wasn't. There was Bill and Hillary. There was George and Laura. George W. Bush walks into the aisle and backhand smacks Barack Obama in the belly.
Oh, they're having a good time.
That's the most, real, normal interaction. And I saw a lot of people tweeting, posting, or whatever these things, and I feel like we're all being played. We're all supposed to hate each other. I don't think, pay close enough attention to know that the Obamas and the Bushes get along just fine.
Yeah, they do.
And have for quite some time. Trump is the only one there who was the odd one out. But then when you saw at this funeral, when you see Kamala Harris and Dougie were sitting there in the front row, and it was Doug and Kamala, Doug on the aisle, Kamala next. The Bidens are the last ones to come in. And Jill sits next to Kamala. Why are you not making it so that's not the case? Yeah. Jill came in and sat at a 45-degree angle away from Kamala Harris.
There's an official seating chart to these things.
Get it changed. You're the vice president of the United States.
It has to be president, first lady, vice president, first gentleman. They had to sit in that order.
Just tell Joe Biden he's the vice president.
It's just so weird. It's just so weird to watch because I'm sitting there watching this thing just like you guys probably did somewhat, although you're on, I was off.
I've watched a lot of stuff on social media.
Yeah.
But that's all I really wanted to say.
But I was watching it live, and it was awkward because, Donald Trump's there because he was the president, but he would shift seats in 10 days to be where Joe Biden's sitting now with Melania. J.D. Vance isn't even there, but he's the vice president-elect in 10 days, but Mike Pence is there. It was just...
But he was a vice president.
Yeah, I know, but it's just
isn't
strange.
Anything yet, other than a senator. It's just a meager senator from Ohio.
We're just so close, and all the news stories right now are mostly about what Donald Trump's going to do, what he's currently doing, and yet he's not the president yet, and so J.D. Vance isn't there. It was just weird.
It was more drama than you will see in a afternoon soap opera. It was every little conversation, nuance, discussion that took place between all of them. I mean, it was really something to see. I want to play that one. Well, let's see. Do you have the clip of Ducey? Yeah, number 21. I'm going to play this real quick before we take a break because the way Trump responded to Ducey's question was pretty funny.
Off the top, you mentioned the Carter funeral today. What were you talking to Barack Obama about?
It did look very friendly, I must say. I didn't realize it. I didn't realize it. How friendly it looked.
I think that's
I saw
a lie,
it
by
on
the
your
way.
wonderful
I think he knows
network
what he's doing.
just a little while ago before I came in, and I said, boy, they look like two people that like each other, and we probably do. We have little different philosophies, right? But we probably do. I don't know. We just got along, but I got along with just about everybody on that. We met backstage.
You think he's talking about Karen?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because when he talks about being backstage with him and everybody's getting along, he says just about everybody.
Before we went on, and I thought it was a beautiful service, but we all got along very well, which is good.
It is good. I enjoy seeing Donald Trump and Barack Obama talking in the way that they were. This might be an unpopular opinion. I liked that they were doing it. Why? Because Donald Trump is the one who has the power in a few days. Mm-hmm. Barack Obama doesn't. He could have influence. He could also participate in whatever way that Donald Trump wants to invite him to participate if Donald Trump deems it helpful. I don't know what that would look like, but I trust Trump to know and to not trust anybody with anything from the Obama years. I'm okay with seeing them together and respect each other. I think it's a healthy thing.
I completely understand that. I had the same reaction. However, I also fully understand why people are like, don't get chummy with these people. You're about to go in. If there's stuff to be exposed, don't be friends. You're not going to be able to do that.
Well, but yes, but I trust Trump
should be
this
able
time
to,
to be in there and be like, hey, buddy, how's it going? And Barack will be like, it's going really well. I'm so happy to sit next to you, Mr. President.
That's why that answer is so funny from Trump. I hadn't heard that.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, yeah, we did look like we were pretty good friends there, didn't it? Yeah, well, we probably were.
Ducey asked him one more question.
About it. Peter, thank you very much. Does Biden does he do this kind of a news conference?
This is my longest ever interview of a president.
Yeah, well,
it's a press
longest
conference.
Ever before this was one question, and they would rush you out of the room, right? But we have nothing to hide about it.
That's great. That's great. Just the fact that Ducey would even ask that.
I mean, you have the president-elect at a press conference. This is when he was meeting with all the governors. You have him letting people ask questions, And he answers them. He goes on forever. I mean, to the point where people who are supposed to carry these are like, gosh, I don't know that we can keep doing this. And Trump's like, I'll take another one.
Mm-hmm.
This is so different than what we've been seeing, and it's good. It's good for you. It's good for America. It's good for America first. Quick break. When we come back, next question on the Annie Fry Show. What are your Ask Us Anything questions? We would love to hear from you. Annie Fry YouTube channel. You can throw your comments in there. If you subscribe right now, you're going to have to wait 5 minutes before you can make your first comment. So get over there real quick. Subscribe to the Annie Fry YouTube channel and ask us your questions. We'll answer them next. We'll be right back.
When we go fishing in the dark, lying on our backs and counting the stars where the cool grass grows.
This is The Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Middle of the night, just moving slow. Staying the whole night through. It feels so good to be with you.
Retirement is around the corner. It's 2025. That puts you 1 year closer, or maybe this is the year where you get to step out of working into retirement and you're just thinking, gosh, I hope it's everything I dreamed of. Gosh, I hope I saved what I need to save and then I make the moves that I need to make. I have a solution for you that costs you nothing. You're going to reach out to 314-993-9494 and reserve your spot at the January 30th. This is a Thursday free event at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30 p.m. I will be there. I'll get there at about 6 o'clock, and Mark will also be there with me. So come hang out with us for about 30 minutes before the event starts, and it is the Protecting Your Retirement educational event. Let me remind you, it's free. It costs you nothing, and he also has snacks, which is wonderful. You got to reserve your spot, though, because seating is limited, and these usually do fill up, and I hope to see you. 314-993-9494, 314-993-9494. Get the answers you need to make sure that you can enter retirement the way you expected to enter retirement. 314-993-9494. You find them online at retirementkey.com.
At Neovitin, we are all about supporting your nutrition, and that's why we are excited about our new Neovitin Omega-3 supplement. Neovitin Omega-3 is formulated with 1,200 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids to help support healthy hearts. Our high-quality omega-3 fish oils are sourced from wild-caught fish and tested for heavy metals. With our convenient monthly subscription, you can get Neovitin Omega-3 delivered right to your door every month with no long-term obligations. Support your daily nutrition and sign up for a Neovitin Omega-3 subscription at neovitin.com today.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
For details and a list of all station contest rules, visit www.971talk.com/rules.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Level up the comfort of your home this winter with either free attic insulation or an air scrubber. With a new HVAC system installation from Air Comfort Service. For details and a free estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Friday afternoon, it's a Reardon Roundtable. Questions about snow removal in St. Louis, fires in L.A., Kim Gardner's audit, and Tish's travel. All up for grabs. It starts at 3.
The Mark Reardon Show. Weekdays from 3 to 6.
I just woke up from a dream.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. This is The Annie Fry Show.
But since I survived, I realized wherever you go, that's where I'll follow. Nobody's promised tomorrow.
Next question. It's a legitimate question.
Next question.
Next question, please.
Next question on The Annie Fry Show.
Okay, so on Friday, we like to give you the opportunity to throw some questions our way. And the best way to do that is to get on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. You go to youtube.com/@AnnieFry, and you can ask us anything, and we will plow through as many questions as we possibly can. The first one that I have for you guys is, what was the best thing that you got for Christmas?
The best thing that I got for Christmas.
Gift, whatever. Like, what was tops this year?
I like getting food stuff a lot, and my mother-in-law bought me a bunch of sticks of
butter
jerky of butter. And it was all different animals. Like, it was elk and bison and
like shapes.
Like little nuggets.
It was
They were
bologna.
chicken nuggets, but in shapes of other animals.
She knows you.
It's really impressive.
Really well.
Yeah, I put them in the oven.
Dip them in some Andrea sauce.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not the typical way that really you do anything, but I loved it. It was from the heart. Dipping bison chicken nuggets.
How do you tell the difference between
In
these two
Andrews.
animals when they're in like nugget shapes that are all just suggestions? Looks like it's got 4 legs, or maybe what's that thing? I don't know. Brad, what about you?
I got a lot of great gifts for Christmas. My wife got me a hat and a John Deere hat and a John Deere shirt to wear, and I think I wore that shirt the day before yesterday. But I liked those, but really my favorite was she got me a Lego TIE Fighter from Star Wars, and like to sit down and build a Lego kit.
How large is this Lego, or how many pieces?
I don't know how many pieces it was. There was 3 bags in it because they sort them into bags now when you do it. And so you do bag 1, bag 2, then bag 3. So there's 3 bags, and it was, physically, it's about a foot wide and 7-8 inches tall. So it's
sizable.
Sizable, yeah. It's pretty cool, and I had fun building it, and it's always fun to just kind of dive back into some of the stuff that was fun when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever play Lego Wars when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah.
Where you build up something and you just roll them at each other and see who smashes?
Yeah, so my brother and I did that. We called it Destruction Derby.
Okay.
And we had a rule, like you had to have, your car had to fit a guy in it, and then
Like a human?
No, the Lego guy. And it was over whenever
You're out on the street. Hey, guy.
Whenever
you look for a real small guy.
Whenever your character wasn't in the car anymore. So once he got tossed out of the car, your side won or lost.
Oh, that's a better rule than we did.
But then my brother started skirting the rules. It's like, no, your guy has to have arms and legs and a head. It can't just be the little torso part, because he would build that in there real tight. But yeah, my grandparents had a really long hallway, and we would just sit at the end of each hallway slamming these cars into one another.
Apparently, now Brad and I did not know each other's children. Apparently, every boy did this.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You said Lego Wars, and I was like, is this like, did you play with Legos and there was like some sort of competition, or is this like
We
the
did that
name
too.
of things?
Yeah, everybody would have called it something different, but me and my cousin Larry, I remember when we were kids.
You don't have a cousin Larry.
That's not true. I do.
My cousin Larry.
My cousin Larry.
My cousin Larry.
Yeah. I'm writing a screenplay.
Me and my cousin Larry.
Me and my cousin Larry would, in our basement,
The adventures we would get into.
go down there, and Larry would build up a Lego guy car, and I'd build up a Lego tank. And
In order for me to believe that you have a cousin named Larry, I need a photograph of you and cousin Larry as children.
Does Cousin Larry wear glasses? I feel like Cousin Larry wears glasses.
No way, man. Larry's not a nerd.
What if you wear glasses?
I'm a nerd. Larry's not, though. Larry's awesome. He was real into Def Leppard and stuff.
Was?
He wouldn't know words.
Do you have
glasses.
long hair and a headband?
My
Maybe.
best gift that I got, I'm showing this on the YouTube live. My husband went to the diamond shop, and I got, after all the gifts were done, I think we went and ate after that, like at our house. We didn't go anywhere. We've got one more gift, which I think is what you say.
Oh, my
Bob
dad.
Wiggins
I didn't even
is-
mention my parents they're unbelievable Christmasers.
Yeah. Well, he did that. And out comes this red bag, and I have this little paperclip chain bracelet that was custom made by Tom at the diamond shop, and it just has 4 stones in it. I'm not like a big jewelry person. If you ever notice the kind of jewelry I wear the same jewelry all the time. I don't change jewelry. And the jewelry that I wear it's been a process to get to the point where I do wear a necklace. I do have on earrings, so on and so forth. But it's got the birthstone for each of my children, all 4 kids.
That's cool.
And it's very pretty, and I love it. And Tom custom made it for me and was great to Jared in getting it. And so the diamond shop, thank you, Tom. Thank you. That's my best gift. Next question.
I was going to say something, but...
Okay, go ahead.
No, I about what you're wearing. But usually when I comment on what you're wearing, it ends up in the HR file.
I actually got Terry a custom necklace from the diamond shop
Cool.
as well. So, yeah.
What were you going to say?
That. I was going to say
that
that.
Brad got Terry?
No. I was going to say that I was going to comment on how beautiful your jewelry was. It's something I normally would do, but I just hadn't done that yet today.
You've never complimented me.
Okay. Yeah, if that's the way you take the things I say, then that's up to you. It's all behind.
Should we
eye
get
of the
Ethan
beholder.
in here to talk about comments that are made on personal appearance? Next question.
Next question. I have one. What do you think
How timely.
RFK's effect on the 2024 election was?
The game changer.
Do you think it was the over the hill, tipped it over?
RFK made Trump palatable for people who wouldn't have considered it before. How many times did you hear people say, RFK says he's fine with it. If he's okay with him, I'm okay with him. I mean, listen, I just talked about this bracelet that I got from the Diamond Shop. I am partnered with the Diamond Shop, and they are my longest sponsor. The Diamond Shop came on with this show when I was doing Saturdays for 2 hours. They are the most wonderful people. I have a long-standing relationship with them. I am an endorser of theirs. They need me to get the word out that when you go to buy jewelry, that you are going to get the best possible experience you can in jewelry that's in stock or custom-made jewelry like I'm wearing right now. You need somebody to get the word out and to get the truth out. And RFK Jr. was that for Donald Trump to an entire group of people. That's not about turnout. That was about making the tent bigger. And the Republicans were completely focused on two things: fair elections and turnout, making sure people showed up to vote. And what RFK Jr. did was said, but we're going to add these people in too. I think it was the game changer.
Brad?
I'm with Annie on this, and I think that the biggest example that I can give of that is after RFK Jr. came on board, you had Zachary Levi come out, and he basically said as much. And after that, you saw the Rogan podcast hit. You saw the Theo Vaughn podcast hit. I forget all the other ones that were on. But at that point, once that straw broke, all these other guys that were kind of like, libertarian, that sort of person, they all kind of jumped in there, and they're willing to, at the very least, have a conversation with him. And then when he had the conversation with him, he was able to close the deal on the sales pitch.
I agree with you guys that I think he was the game changer. I was approaching it differently, though, because you guys are talking about perception a lot, which is totally fair. But he was pulling about 4, maybe 5%, especially in swing states. And Donald Trump only won those swing states by maybe a percentage point, which is a nice, comfortable victory for a swing state. But the fact that RFK was carrying that much of a percentage, and then some of them would have split to Harris. But I'm thinking, data-wise, if enough of them shifted to Trump, that could have been the thing that shifted it, is RFK dropping out and supporting Trump. And Kamala wouldn't even take his calls. That's what's crazy.
Yeah, they're idiots.
That is so stupid.
Political malpractice.
Yeah.
Top to bottom. Next question, Brad.
So I guess my question is what is something that has taken you the longest to get good or decent at?
Oh, I quit things I'm bad at.
So Annie's is probably like...
Patience?
Yeah.
Perseverance? You go first, Brad.
I always have to go first when I ask my
It's
question.
because you asked the most
very deep questions.
I'm sorry.
No, you'd be sorry, but that's just why you go first, because now we're thinking.
I mean, one of the things that I look at doing the show, this was a whole big shift for me from anything that I'd ever done before, and I feel like doing the show has been one of those things that it's taking me, and I'm going to use the word decent, it's taking me a long time to get decent at. 3 years, well, going on 4 years now. It's one of the things, but I think the other thing is my ministry and youth ministry, because when you first go in, you're bright-eyed, you got all these ideas, and you've got theory, and then theory's put into practice, and man, the amount of change that culture has gone through from when I started youth ministry to now is mind-boggling, and it's just, you have to keep up and stay on top of it and be agile and pivot. So.
How about, Ryan, I do yours and you do mine?
Well, I already know what yours is, so
What?
that's not fair. It's patience.
Oh. He's not wrong. I'm just not a patient person.
I'm not either.
I'm a results-driven person. I want I'm also, I would say, a very dedicated and hardworking person to get. I like to win. I'm competitive, so I want to see success. I don't need the world to know about my success, but I would like to feel good in my success. Actually, that's what I'm gonna say. Something that's taken me a long time to get better at. What was the question? How'd you word it? So I answered the correct question.
What is taking you the longest to get good or decent at?
Shelving my compulsion to be competitive because it doesn't matter nearly as much as my reflex to be competitive would have made me think. Like, you got to win at everything. I have learned. It took me a long time to just, like, I knew that I had to fake that I didn't need to compete at stupid things that nobody else is competing on. I had to fake it. I had to lie to myself. It was a very active process to be like, this is not a big deal. Like, just chill. And now I'm much better at legitimately, and I say this I'm not saying this in a flippant way, legitimately not caring about a lot of things in life that don't really matter. And also, I still care fiercely and passionately about the things that I do deem what matter. So I would say prioritizing and not letting that natural instinct I have to constantly compete, at least just in my mind, on everything. I've been able to push that away as much as possible when it doesn't need to be in place.
For me, it's archery.
Still working on it?
Yeah,
tell us about the accidents.
I've told people at this point, don't even stand anywhere in the direction of the target, because they used to stand right next to it because I want my arrows out of it as fast as possible because I don't have a ton of them. But I started telling them, why don't you take a few steps over, because I was just worried about them. It took a while before I got to the point where...
Yeah, rest in peace, Bob.
Before?
Oh, I forgot that's your dad's
name. That's my dad's name, so no, I didn't shoot my dad with an arrow.
Not Larry. We all know it wouldn't be Larry.
No, Cousin Larry is awesome.
I didn't say that Cousin Larry isn't awesome. I'm sure he's the best person you've ever met,
You're
Larry.
Get an email and a letter from Cousin Larry.
I just want a photograph and a birth certificate.
I don't know if he's going to have that. He's kind of a Rolling Stone, you know.
I can see how he's evolving as the show goes on.
Aside from archery, I would say banjo, because I always, and this is not a true story, I always wanted to be able to play the Deliverance song anytime a group of dudes were together.
You just do what every other dude does and go. But
I figured out I could just do that. And so it saved me years of trying to learn the banjo.
But isn't the question something that it's taken you a while to get good at?
Mm-hmm.
You're a quitter just like me.
Yep.
Okay.
So patience is where I was going with this. And I was testing yours.
We have more questions. We will answer them when we come back. If you want to throw one our way, see if you can throw us for a loop on the Annie Fry YouTube channel, youtube.com/@AnnieFry, F-R-E-Y. More questions from you and from us in a minute.
This is The Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
CiviaLaw.com. Make sure that your future, your uncertain future, of course, that's the way it really is. We know that's why we kind of push these things off a little bit when we know that we shouldn't. That you can rest easy that your trust is in place by an expert. That expert is Todd Sivia. He is who worked my husband and I through our trust, putting together our powers of attorney. Excuse me, and making sure that we answered all the questions, even the ones that we didn't know that we would have to think about. Really thoughtful, very thorough, wonderful, wonderful person. Todd Sivia is waiting for your phone call. When you reach out to him, mention the Annie Fry Show. When you do, you'll be glad you did. 833-995-WILL is the number to call. 833-995-WILL. Reach out to Todd Sivia and talk to him about estate planning, elder law needs, any special needs, real estate, personal injury, business, or online forum help that you might need. It's 833-995-WILL. 833-995-WILL. You can visit Todd Sivia at any of his 5 locations in the Missouri and Illinois areas online at civialaw.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-656-1551. That's 800-656-1551. 800-656-1551.
The YouTube live chat poll of the day is: grade the snow removal in your area. It is still snowing. I've read that it might stay in this area until about 5 o'clock this evening. We'll see. It's starting to taper off a little bit. Still snowing, though. Grade the snow removal in your area. A, B, C, D, or F. That is today's YouTube live chat poll. 146. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
The countdown to Inauguration Day is on, and 97.1 is your transition team headquarters. Every day one executive action. It's all here. Trump's second term is coming soon on 97.1 FM Talk.
Lately, I've been losing sleep.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Fry Show.
Said no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. Yeah, we'll be counting stars.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. We're in the middle of next question here. Your Ask Us Anything questions we're taking on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. I'm going to start here with Kate Team's question from the YouTube channel. Kate says, what would you like to see Trump do first once he's sworn in? Brad, what do you think?
The first thing I want to see him do is secure the southern border. Lock it down. Whatever he needs to do, sign whatever he needs to sign, get it done, and then we can worry about passing a bill through to make whatever executive order or however he chooses to do this or needs to do this permanent, because that to me is still the biggest thing facing the country.
I was going to say something with energy, but I have a hard time disagreeing with Brad. That's the most pressing current concern. Now, number of crossings has dropped a little bit in the last few months, but it's still such a major issue that it's got to be addressed quickly.
Yep, I would agree. Put everything back in place the way it is. Energy is another huge one. I would kind of like to look at the order at which Joe Biden undid Donald Trump's things when he came in with the executive orders, and I would kind of look at those things and put them all back the way they were. I will put a sub-question on this. How quickly and how boldly do you want Donald Trump to pardon J6ers?
Quickly and boldly.
All of them?
Yeah, like I said before, I'm not sure there's anybody who hasn't already served what they needed to serve in the last 4 years.
Are they owed more than a pardon?
Yeah, there are some of them that are owed like the gratitude of their country for what they've had to endure by this administration.
The apology from their country.
Yeah, the current administration brushing aside the U.S. Constitution and due process for some of these people is abhorrent, disgraceful, and unbelievable that they've been able to get away with it. And those people needed an official apology from the country.
Anything more than words?
I mean, I don't think there should be any sort of like. How
many of these people have lost livelihoods, have lost their potentially homes if they weren't able to provide for them? There are people who have lost their lives. There are people who were under the duress of this justice system who killed themselves families that lost loved ones. You know, I don't know what's on the table. I don't know what the possibilities are. But the overreach of the Biden administration in the wake of all of this is incredibly dramatic. I don't know what the solution is, but just being like, well, we pardon you for the things that you did wrong doesn't seem like it's enough to me.
It just seems tough to go down that road then, because then you have to assess, well, what is a year of a person's life worth? You know, I don't know how to do that.
Something.
I don't know how to do that.
Well, it cost him something. I'm with you, Ryan. I think that he should pardon them boldly and quickly. And I do think that especially the people that have been in prison without a trial, just no legal recourse whatsoever other than, hey, just wait until we get this together to put you away. I think that's awful. You have the right to a speedy trial. You have a right to a jury of your peers. I think it's horrible that people are doing this just to quote-unquote make an example of people. Everybody can look at this, and especially people like that have been sitting in prison without, a trial, without anything, can tell that it's political prisoners. And Annie, you're right. They need something back. I don't know what that is, but the government has to make it right because they have stolen and violated their constitutional and civic rights.
Cheryl asks AFS, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Brad, where do you see us in 5 years?
As a show.
How about 5 weeks?
Yeah.
Let's narrow it down a little bit. Just think in 5 years we'll be a year into J.D. Vance's presidency.
Wow, that is really something.
I've said this before in another Ask Me Anything. I think that I could see us kind of as a social media empire with other.
See, I told you we were going to be emperors.
It'll be our show, and there will be other shows that will join in on the Annie Fry Show, and we'll have multiple shows underneath our umbrella.
We did some things while you were gone, Ryan.
Social media empire.
We'll tell you about
Yes.
it later.
What? I see us do. I see the radio station being more of a launch, and us doing the. You remember in 2020 when all the hospital workers would do those dances in the halls? I see us moving into that. So
when you hear social media empire, you hear at the forefront of dance trends on TikTok.
No, social media empire is too big. You're dreaming big. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I see us moving much more into the
Slower.
choreograph
Dances.
dance.
What he means is unemployed.
but
Which
still
is on the
having
table.
fun
Let's
and
just be
spending a
real.
lot of time
Unemployed
doing it.
and loving it.
If you like the Annie Fry Show, please write your representatives.
Yeah.
And tell them.
Where's all that PBS money going to go once Trump cancels it?
AFS?
AFS.
Right.
They're getting a boatload of cash, too, aren't they?
PBS?
Public media.
NPR gets, I think, around 10% of its funding from the government, so it's not. It's still a lot of money. It's just not a huge part of their budget, so they're not going anywhere. PBS, I'm not sure about.
Where do I see us in 5 years? I would love to be doing this in 5 years. Radio is tough. I got to tell y'all, radio is tough. I am constantly, and like Brad and Ryan see it super up close, and the support that our show has here at Odyssey St. Louis has been amazing. You saw this. We were announced by Barrett Media, which is a industry, kind of a trade in the industry. I think that they go with 40 major and mid-level market executives, and they rank shows across the country. And our show was ranked the number 6 mid-market, midday show in the country, which means we are super mid.
Yeah, and proud of it.
Mid.
So, right there, we're middle of the ranking in middays, in the mid-market. You can't get more mid than the Annie Fry Show.
Mhm.
Put that in a promo.
I'm going to start wearing a midriff just for the stream, just for the social media empire.
Will you write number 6, but make the loop in the 6 be around your belly button?
I will.
Will you not come near me when you do that?
I will do that.
So all that to say, we are getting recognized across the country for what we're doing here, which is awesome. For morning show, the Mark Cox Morning Show was recognized on the morning list. Mark Reardon was recognized on the afternoon list. Some of our sister shows over at KMOX were recognized as well. So I think we're doing something good here, noon to 3. But everybody knows this. This isn't specific to radio, but it's very, very inflamed in radio. Like, the bottom line and everything is always the driver. Things don't always make sense on the outside. I can say with full confidence that here we have the full support of people who help contribute to the show. I say this all the time because I feel it bears repeating. Nobody ever comes and tells us what to do on the show, what to say on the show, what not to say on the show. The people who talk to us about our show are like, what do you need? Can we help brainstorm? Like, how can we help you? So it's been an amazing experience here. If I were sitting here in 5 years, and Ryan, you're sitting to my right, and Brad, you're sitting across from me, and Ethan's sitting shirtless outside, associate producing, I would be as happy as can be. I don't know if Ethan would be happy with that setup, but I'm incredibly blessed to do this. I'm so thankful for the people who listen. I'm always surprised when people listen. I'll start telling stories in my real life about. They'll be like, "Oh, I heard you talk about that on the radio." I was like, "Oh, you did? That's so good. That's so cool." If not here, then maybe somewhere else. And if not somewhere else, if I'm not doing radio, I would love to potentially run for office one day. And I would hope to take my social media stuff with me and do what I can along with that. I don't know. 5 years in my life there's going to be a dramatic change in my lifetime in 5 years. And yours too, Ryan. You know, I think about the kids growing, it's like everything you do when you have littles at home revolves around your kiddos. And as they become more independent, you get to ask yourself more questions about you. Because when you're a parent, nothing is about you.
I'm just glad to know that in 5 years, my kids will still not have driver's license because they're 10.
Oh.
Right
They'll have
in
a
the
permit,
fields.
though. They'll have a permit.
Yeah, I guess we'll be doing that in 5 years. That's the answer to the question.
Yeah. Cheryl, thank you for the question. We appreciate it. We're going to take a quick break. More Annie Fry Show around the corner. Let's have some fun in the 2 o'clock hour. Always good to have that. If you go to anniefryshow.com/podcast, you can catch what you miss on the show. You can also find the YouTube live stream there. You can also email the show and tell us what we're doing that you like, what we should do more of that you'd like to hear. All that at anniefryshow.com. More Annie Fry Show right around the corner. Don't go away.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from. All that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
Are you tired of feeling sick and tired? I'm Dr. Nick Barnes of Health from Within Family Chiropractic. Our simple 5-step approach aligns your health naturally. We correct spinal abnormalities to maximize nerve supply, focus on pure and simple nutrition, exercise and oxygen, mindset, and minimizing toxins in your body. Transform your health today with Health from Within, conveniently located on Manchester in Rock Hill or online at healthfromwithinstl.com.
When someone hears the words, "You have cancer," it's one of the darkest moments in their life. Light the Night brings light to the darkness of cancer by uniting survivors, patients, and supporters in the cause to end cancer. Friends, families, and coworkers form a community of hope, raising funds in support of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Together, we walk with lanterns held high to light the path to cures. Last year alone, the FDA approved 18 new drug therapies and treatments to treat blood cancers. The impact of LLS-supported research goes beyond blood cancer. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. When we walk, cancer runs. Join the movement to end cancer today. Visit us at lightthenight.org.
When your car is making a strange noise, no matter what it is, you can't just pretend it's not happening.
That's an interesting sound.
It's like your mental health. If you're struggling and feeling overwhelmed, it's important to do something about it. It can be as simple as talking to someone or just taking a deep, calming breath to ground yourself. Because once you start to address the problem, you can go so much further. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
They have a long way to go. Lisa Brady, Fox News. But fire crews are making headway against the two largest wildfires in the LA area, where at least 10 people have been killed, more than 10,000 homes and other buildings destroyed since Tuesday.
Progress is being made to contain deadly wildfires in LA, President Biden was told in a briefing with California and federal officials.
We're not leaving. We're not leaving till we get it done.
With just 10 days remaining in office, President Biden concedes much of the federal government's role will be the responsibility of the incoming Trump administration.
My hope is that they'll have at least acknowledge we have some significant experience in this. We've done really well on it. I'm praying that they continue to focus.
The president also says it's likely Congress will need to approve additional disaster relief, but says he does not yet have a cost estimate.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. These fires deepening an existing insurance crisis in California. The state's insurance commissioner announcing a moratorium on insurance cancellations and non-renewals pending before these fires started. President-elect Trump says he did nothing wrong as he's sentenced in a New York hush money case, convicted of falsifying business records.
They talked about business records, and the business records were extremely accurately counted. I had nothing to do with them. Any of it. That was done by an accountant or a bookkeeper.
Judge Juan Merchan giving him an unconditional discharge, which avoids any jail time or fine after acknowledging but rejecting presidential immunity arguments.
Despite the extraordinary breadth of those protections, one power they do not provide is the power to erase a jury verdict.
Well, the sentence means that even as he appeals the case, the president-elect is set to take office as a convicted felon. He says the American people are the real jury, rejecting what he calls a despicable effort to influence the 2024 election. Wall Street worrying about inflation and interest rates after more hiring in December than expected. 256,000 jobs created. An hour to the close, the Dow's down 650. America is listening to Fox News.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
You said bye-bye to big government. Now it's time to trim the fat from big wireless. Pure Talk gives you the exact same service. They use the same cell towers, the same 5G network. You get better customer service, and you pay half the price for the exact same thing. Get unlimited talk, text, 15 gigs of data with mobile hotspot for just $35 a month. Make the switch. You simply dial pound 250, say the keyword save now, save an additional 50% off your first month. Pure Talk, America's wireless.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Our little southern storm system on the way out, though it's a slow process as it heads into the Tennessee Valley. So we're cloudy all afternoon, light snow tapering off to snow flurries. Still some road problems out there. Take it easy, take it slow. 32 for the high. Tonight, clouds, snow flurries around, especially during the evening. 20. The weekend, Saturday, mostly sunny and 32. Sunday, partly sunny, 36. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
And a lot of people, when they come in, they'll say, I'm usually much more active, but since I've been in pain, I've had to limit the activities I'm doing.
You're listening to Janelle, an arch support specialist at the Good Feet store.
So he came in and he wanted to be able to keep up, play sports with his kids. And from there, we figure out which arch supports complement those activities. I fit him with the arch supports, and as I followed up with him, he's messaged me and said, I took my kids to the park today. We're walking, we're exercising, riding the bikes, and those are all things that he wasn't doing before because he was in pain.
For over 25 years, the Good Feet store's arch support specialists have been helping folks to live the life they love without foot, knee, hip, or back pain getting in the way.
Our goal is to have that long-term change for them. That's what's most important, is knowing that you leave an impact on someone's life. And I like that.
Try them for yourself. Stop in for a free personalized fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store.
Visit one of our 2 locations, Creve Coeur and Shiloh, Illinois, and at goodfeet.com.
The 28th Winter Warm-Up is coming to Busch Stadium and Ballpark Village January 18th through the 20th. The event features 3 days full of non-stop Cardinals family-friendly fun, including tours of the Cardinals clubhouse, admission to the world-class Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum, plus access to the Cardinals Care Store, autographs, auctions, and an exhibit hall full of sports memorabilia and more. Tickets are on sale now. Proceeds benefit Cardinals Care and its mission to care for kids in the community. Find more details at cardinals.com/WWU.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process, ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Eggland's Best, the only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Available in so many delicious varieties: classic, cage-free, organic, free-range, and pasture-raised. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
97.1 FM Talk presents Talk in Action, where we shine a spotlight on local charities making a difference in our community. Join us as we give back and connect neighbors in need. Visit 971talk.com/talkinaction to learn more.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Still snowing outside a little bit here in downtown St. Louis. Not sure what it's doing where you are, but we're glad that you are hanging out with us on this warm and cozy show with Ryan Wiggins back in studio.
Oh, thank you for saying warm and cozy and then my name. Hi.
Hi. If you were listening earlier in the show, we can't really remember when we said it, but we were talking about how Ethan's always shirtless.
Mm-hmm.
He was not listening when we said that.
No, which we felt bad about.
Who did?
Because we all did, because we were joking at his expense, thinking he was listening, and then he wasn't. And we felt bad about it. And so if you remember when we were talking about that, Ethan's trying to find it.
Yeah. Give us a timestamp on the old podcast at anniefryshow.com/podcast. Fox Business is reporting. We talked earlier were you here on Zuckerberg Day when we did the Zuckerberg poll?
No.
Okay. The poll was, do you trust, will Zuckerberg make Facebook great again?
I saw the poll.
And I said, don't get all caught up on the again part if you hate Facebook. You always hate Facebook. Do you believe him?
Okay, so weird take on this. I do believe him that he's going to change the way that companies run and that he believes in free speech. I just believe that the reason that he got to that point is weak and stupid.
Does it matter?
Yeah, it does matter.
Why?
Because what we're talking about, it's almost, in a way, it's better that he got there through this means than through any other. Because while I would love to see the heads of companies being so determined and sticking by really solid constitutional, traditional principles, whatever that would mean, this means that the culture is shifted. That the Overton window that we always talk about has shifted, and he's basically just blowing with the wind. So I do believe that he has changed, but I believe it's just because everybody's moving that direction, which is also a good thing.
I don't really care about the path and how you got there. I really just care at this point that you got there. And if Mark Zuckerberg is doing all of the right things because he's scared poopless, because we were asked about Donald Trump. Donald Trump was asked, if he was, is Zuckerberg doing these things because of the threats you made? And Trump's answer was like, yeah, probably. Just like a very casual, yeah, it could be whatever. I think that it's important to look at where people are moving and how people are shifting and understand that their avenue, everybody's path is going to be a little bit different. And knowing that the people who are on the other side of the non-existent bridge over to supporting anything that Donald Trump had to do, or even just entertaining the idea of having a conversation with him, the idea that now people are doing the things that Trump has guided them to do, I think it's really important to acknowledge that and be open-minded enough to let people who used to be on the other side of that non-existent bridge realize that they figured out how to build a bridge and get over across it.
Yeah, I agree. And hey, like whatever means you're going to get there, it's fine. I just hope that the next time the culture shifts back in the other direction, whenever that may be and whatever that looks like, that you have found some footing here to say, no, we're not going to shift. Just because you want censorship again, that doesn't mean we're going to bow the knee.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Which I said on the show when we did that poll, like, do you trust him? A lot of people don't. I think we had like 70+% were like, no, nothing's going to change. But 30% who are willing to maybe give Zuckerberg the chance to get this done, it's probably an improvement. Fox Business reports Meta ends corporate DEI programs. The report from Fox Business, tech giant Meta on Friday ended its major diversity, equity, and inclusion programs effective immediately, joining a growing group of companies backing off DEI initiatives. This is really something to see another one falling on its face. And it says the company told employees that the, quote, legal and policy landscape surrounding diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts is changing. The removal of DEI, if you've been a part of this post-Obama hope and change, transform the way everybody sees things movement, and you're seeing company after company after company after company going, we can't do this DEI thing. We need to, which is ironic because most of the DEI was put in place as a PR move. It's a PR move to get rid of it. You want the memo to go out that you've canned that department of your business. That's the trendy thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're looking at a business that says, we're not going to go this route anymore. Listen, gosh, people, the people who are upset about this, you have to understand something very, very important here. The idea that you're getting rid of your DEI department doesn't mean that you're committed once again to only hiring white men.
Yeah, come on.
It's absurd to think that, and it's really tiny-minded, very small-minded to think that the only way, that phrase. Let this sink in. Imagine that the only way that black people or women or brown people or whatever color people could get jobs is if you carve out space where it has to be the case that you hire those folks. Like if DEI is centered around the idea of diversifying offices, businesses, corporates, employee roles, and the only way to guarantee those people the opportunity to get those positions is to say, you got to have a couple people who look like this. And it's not just to open it up to the best person who has the job. That is racist.
Yeah. DEI is so backwardly racist that it's almost hard to believe that the people who call themselves the race crusaders, the anti-racists, believe in these policies because it makes no sense for somebody to ascend to a position, any position. Oh my gosh, you became a computer tech, like you opened a company in Silicon Valley. That's great. Whoa. And you're gay? That's unbelievable.
Why didn't you say so?
Wow. I mean, that's incredible. Like it's so stupid to think that you're basically reclassifying people by declassifying people. You're doing the opposite of what you're trying to do.
Well, and you're also calling into question those people's abilities.
That's right, yeah.
Once you get the job and then they find out, like, it's like, well, did they get the job because they checked a box, or did they get the job because they're actually really, really good at this job? If I'm a business owner, if I'm running a business, I want the best at my job, and I'm not going to look at who are you romantically attracted to, what's your gender, what's your race. None of that matters. Can you do the job that I need you to do, and are you the best candidate? And whenever you take away all those other prerequisites, then that person got the job because they're the best. When you put prerequisites on, you don't know.
And it's also like, if you're watching the people who are going through this fire situation in L.A., and I mean, the whole fire department in L.A. has been confronted with this very visual focus that fire department put on making sure that gay women were running the show. Wait, I don't care if my house is on fire and a lesbian runs in to save my life and my children. God love her. Thank you. Did you send the best you got? If that's who it is, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not in the position to go, I'm like stuck in my house. It's a blaze. And I'm like, who do you sleep with?
Right, yeah.
It's
whoa.
So you got to ask some important questions here.
I see your resume looks pretty good for this company, but who are you sexually attracted to?
Yeah, it's not going to do it for me. Can you go get someone else?
Right, yeah. Oh, man, I don't know. You looked good up until then.
Well, we have Marcus Freeman, coach of the national championship-bound Notre Dame Fighting Irish. He's black. Shocker, everybody. He's black. They won the Orange Bowl last night in incredibly dramatic fashion. It was a wonderful football game, I say, I am a Notre Dame Irish fan, but I am married to a very passionate Fighting Irish football fan. And, of course, ESPN have to ask the question. I mean, they're ESPN, for the love. They have to ask the question of Marcus Freeman and acknowledge this moment because historically he's the first black guy to do this.
Because you are the first black head coach to go to a national championship game in college football. Congratulations. Just hearing that response alone, how much does this mean to you?
I've said this before. I don't ever want to take attention away from the team. It is an honor, and I hope all coaches, minorities, black, Asian, white, it doesn't matter, great people continue to get opportunities to lead young men like this. But this ain't about me, this is about us. And we're gonna celebrate what we've done because it's something special.
The crowd cheered when he said it.
Well, it's because they're sensible people.
Oh man, he's saying some smart things.
I'm not happy for him today that he's black. But I wasn't upset for him at all because he was black. He's Marcus Freeman. He is a wonderful leader for this Notre Dame football team. He knows what he's doing. He prepares them. His players speak in such a professional way when they are talking to the media. The way that they have progressed and met a little of adversity when they lost to Northern Illinois University, the only loss on their season. This is every time Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame win a football game, they're like, essentially, how does it feel to be doing this and be black? That's a dumb question.
Was that his response at the end of the Penn State game?
The Orange Bowl.
The Orange, okay.
Yeah, we had the video playing on the live stream. There's a big bowl of oranges in front of him. He said that last night.
I'm just realizing, sorry for being late to the game here. I'm just realizing Notre Dame won that game because I saw Penn State was winning when I left.
It was 24-24 with less than a minute to go in the game, and Penn State threw an interception at the end, and then Notre Dame kicked a field goal 27-24.
Oh, crap. I'm just catching up.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
Marcus Freeman wins. And here's what I thought this last night. I'm bringing it into the conversation right now. You have Marcus Freeman, who is fairly new to the Notre Dame program. He's not been with this program for a super long time. He is 30. I think they said last night, he's about to celebrate his 39th birthday. And I was like, holy crap. This guy's young.
He doesn't look that old either.
No, he played professionally for a little bit. I think my husband said he was a college linebacker and maybe played like a defensive back or something. I don't know what he said. But he's young. He's successful. He is very good at what he does. I don't think that it's wrong to highlight in commentary that he's the first black man to reach a national championship. I do think it's kind of interesting, too, to think about how long have we had a national championship where you could compete to get to it and not be chosen by a boardroom of people who rank things and say, well, these two are going to be ranked 1 and 2 and they're going to play in the national championship, and this year it's going to be the Rose Bowl. I mean, it's not the national championship as it is this year. This is the first year that it's been this field of teams who have had the opportunity to do it. I don't think there's nothing wrong with acknowledging that he's the first black guy to do it as a historical marker, but to prioritize it in the way that, to me, it diminishes what he's actually doing. And this is what I was saying last night. I kind of tangented on my own in my living room. His answer there is the same as what Caitlin Clark keeps saying. But Caitlin Clark is white. Caitlin Clark is put on when you ask questions like this, and it's not like they ask these questions. This is the first time he's been asked this question. He's been asked this question like every time he has a success. What's it like to be the first black man to this, to that, to whatever? He's given the same answer every time. And his answer here was like, everybody, this is a great opportunity, and it's about the players, and it doesn't matter if you're black or you're brown or you're white. He said everybody, he applauds the success that he's enjoyed because there's hard work in behind it. It's the same thing that Caitlin Clark is saying, but every time he's asked this question, there's a whole presumption of understanding that goes behind elevating him in that, all the elevation that comes in before he even opens his mouth is matched when they ask Caitlin Clark the same question. All the degradation that precedes her ability to answer the question. But the answer to the question is the same. I work really hard for the success that I've had. And the success that you're seeing out here is based on the effort that I put in, the choices that I've made, and the people around me who have helped me have this success. It's not really a color thing. When Marcus Freeman says it, I applaud. Everybody applauds. They're happy for him. When Caitlin Clark says it, it's not good enough. It's the wrong thing. She has not put down white people. She has not put down white people when she's answered that question. She has said, as she said in that Time Magazine Athlete of the Year article, I've earned everything that I have. And she still uses it as an opportunity to say, listen, there's a lot of people who deserve acknowledgement as well. I just want to pull all of the participation into the race hustling out of the equation and say who's great at what they're doing, period.
Look, this is the land of opportunity. Have things always been fair for everybody based on their demographic boxes in America? Absolutely not. But we're to a place now where they are. And we've got to be now to a spot where asking the question or making the comment after every single time somebody does something that, oh my gosh, what does it feel like to be the first Asian American who won the slalom? At some point, these questions, and we may be at that point now, where those are the past. We are now in an era where it shouldn't be a surprise that somebody from a different race could do something magnificent or accomplish something. I think we're at that point in America.
And watching somebody even as, opposite of our side as you would think, Mark Zuckerberg ripping the DEI department out of Meta makes me react to the Marcus Freeman question. The reporter asked the question. I don't really hold it against her. She's working for ESPN. She's going to have to ask that question. But if you go, if I retweeted it on X, if you go read the comments on ESPN's post of this question, when you look under the video that's right there on X, there's this little gray outline box. And that's where you can go to read the comments that the profile hides. Go read the hidden comments on ESPN's post of this, and it's everybody going, oh my gosh, enough. Enough. Can you just Can you just give him the credit for being a great coach? And can we just leave race out of this for once? Just seems like the tide is turning. The winds of change are upon us, and we are 10 days away from the inauguration of Donald Trump. And then that's when things start really getting going. YouTube live chat poll for today. It's a fun one. Grade the snow removal in your area. An A, a B/C, a D, or an F. What do you think? We got a lot of comments coming in here. Erica said, solid F. I have not been out since last Saturday, and I hope I can get out tomorrow. Thankfully, I can work from home. If you've not been out, Erica, how do you know they're terrible? Maybe she knows people who have. Patricia said Glen Carbon has been superb. Diane said, I voted D, and I'm in South County, but only because our condo complex, absolutely no clearing of any snow/ice. So frustrating, but it could be worse. I could live in California, so feeling lucky. That's a very good perspective about it, and I think that's a reasonable one. You ever been plowed in? You ever had the snow plow come through and decide to put like a 6-foot barrier in front of your driveway?
We're always right on that line, depending on the driver.
It's rough.
Yeah.
What do you do with that? You just have to shovel it out, or you just try to burst through that sucker?
That's exactly what I do. Bam.
You do it in your car or your wife's car?
I do it in the SUV that she drives. we got a little downhill slope to that driveway.
Yeah?
Just enough to get you going.
Get it,
wham.
yeah. You got to put a little ramp on that thing.
I will next time.
Yeah.
I'll set a ramp out before the snow.
Okay, there. That's a great idea. Go vote on the YouTube live chat poll. We'll be back in a minute. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Do you want to kickstart planning for your retirement this year? I know a quick and easy way to do this. It's a 3-hour adult education class called Retirement Planning 101. It's kind of like getting the Cliff Notes on how you can make your money go a lot further in retirement. Hey, it's Dave Glover from KMOX. This one-night class is taught by a fiduciary advisor from Financial and Tax Architects with decades of financial planning experience. They're held at colleges and libraries throughout St. Louis. You're going to learn about tax saving strategies, IRA and 401k withdrawals, Roth conversions, Social Security, and more. There's no cost. Just bring 3 canned goods for the St. Louis Crisis Nursery. There are still openings for the classes this month and next, so call 314-350-8110. 314-350-8110. That's my personal number, 314-350-8110 for Financial and Tax Architects.
Local news can come at you fast. Want the latest on what's happening in your backyard? Download the free Odyssey app. Follow your local news station, and you'll get alerts on the top stories making headlines in your city. You can stay in the know, no matter what you're up to, and be among the first to find out when news breaks. Plus, keep tabs on weather and traffic, so you're never caught off guard. To get started, download the Odyssey app. That's AUDACY, and follow your local news station.
When's the last time you gave your home's exterior a little love? Hi, it's Kim, and if your siding is cracking, it's fading, or just doesn't stand up to our St. Louis weather, it's time to call Lakeside Renovation and Design, because they're experts in James Hardy siding, which is this durable, low-maintenance option, and it looks beautiful. Plus, you have customizable colors and textures, and so you can give your home a completely new look while protecting it for decades. Don't wait until the small problems turn into big ones. Visit lakesidearty.com to schedule your free consultation.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. If you have a furnace that needs service, a heat pump that needs repairs, or a boiler that needs to be replaced, contact Air Comfort Service. They offer 24/7 emergency heating service too. aircomfortservice.com.
This is St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Stream it on the Odyssey app. The easiest way to listen when you don't have a radio.
Your home for conservative talk.
The Odyssey app for 97.1 FM Talk.
Said you hated the ocean, but you're surfing now. I said I love you for life, but
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Fry Show.
Couldn't ever imagine even having doubts, but not everything works out. No, now I'm out dancing with strangers. You could be casually dating. Damn, it's all changing so fast. I see it, love it, I see it. Yeah, that's just life, baby.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. So did you watch some of the football game last night? Did you see
Yeah,
some?
well, when I left, Penn State was winning 10-0
Left the game.
when I left the TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were winning what?
10-0.
That was in the first half.
Yeah, it was in the first half.
And
That's the last I saw.
You saw it 10-0 in the first half, and
Yeah, but Penn State was dominating. I just was surprised that there was such a turnaround.
okay.
I mean, they were. That first half was Penn State.
I could understand you like when it was like 24-17.
No, yeah, but we were talking about the game. Like, my dad is so good at analyzing football, and the way he was talking about the way that Notre Dame beat Georgia and the way that they were playing in that game, I was like, shoot, then I don't see much happening here. But then they won.
You go on. Ethan,
Okay, here comes Ethan.
Ethan, you want to? Hi, everyone. You want to weigh in here? Have you ever watched a game? It was 0-0 after the first quarter.
Uh-huh.
I think it was 10-0 maybe halfway through the second quarter.
Yeah, about.
It was 0-0 like before the first quarter.
This is honestly, though, the way that everything went, I would say probably 2.5 quarters through this game was the exact game plan that probably both head coaches had, because both of these teams have solid run games, more defensive built. Me and Brad were talking about that earlier. And then you got kind of towards the end of the third quarter, beginning of the fourth quarter, and it was like, all right, game on. And it was kind of just like a frenzy. You had crazy plays. You had big touchdowns. And it became really fast moving. And I think that kind of threw everyone off, and nobody was expecting that. You could tell even the way the broadcasters were talking about it. They were surprised by how everything went down. So I got to say, the way that it finished, it was super exciting. And it definitely had me by surprise in the way it resulted.
Ryan, too, because he found out about it an hour ago.
I found out about it during the last
I don't even know if it was an hour ago.
Yeah, it was like 15 minutes ago.
Oh, they won that?
Oh, yeah. I
that how
can't
he
believe
sounded?
they won that. They won the game.
Yeah, I'm reporting on this brilliant answer to a stupid question from Marcus Freeman. He's like, wait,
they won that game?
Notre Dame won? And
I did hear that.
That's why you come to 97.1 for your sports, Ryan.
I tell you what, I watched a lot of TV. I was in the hospital for the last 3 days just getting a PICC line in my arm, getting some IV antibiotics because I had a lung infection. And you just sit there. You just sit there and watch TV. And
Apparently
I watched
not all of it.
not enough. And I watched more. I watched the Blues game. Finally, I haven't watched a whole lot of Blues this season. I watched that stupid game against the Wild. That game was ridiculous.
Terrible.
Like, the most random things were happening to the Blues that made them lose that game. But anyway, it was just fun to watch all this random stuff because I never sit down and watch TV, and I never have time to.
That's all you had.
And to sit there and watch the big stories, like the fires, watching that play out in real time is nuts. The Jimmy Carter funeral was weird because every station was carrying it. And also, by the way, CNBC, I discovered, huge revelation here, not really a news station anymore. They basically play Shark Tank all day and night.
Awesome.
Shark Tank stresses me out. I can't do it. I want everybody to get picked, but realistically, I'm like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
and I feel bad when they don't. One of the other things that took place, we saw that people are making their trips to Mar-a-Lago. They're having their conversations. Of course, it's not really appropriate for Donald Trump to be, I don't know if it's inappropriate. Probably, I would think it was inappropriate. If Donald Trump were still the president and Biden was coming in, I wouldn't want to see Biden traipsing around Capitol Hill when he wasn't quite the president yet. So he handles these business meetings at Mar-a-Lago, as he should. There's nothing wrong with that. John Federman from Pennsylvania, the senator who I still think is the most underrated, under-talked about political story of the last 2 years. From the time he was elected, after he had his stroke, he still went through in that debate with Dr. Oz, and he opened the debate with "Good night." He was not.
I know.
I completely understand. In stroke recovery, your ability to function from a communicative standpoint can look diminished when your brain function is fine. Your thoughts can be fine, and your ability to get it out can be affected by the stroke. But watching John Federman handle this moment in political history has been amazing.
I'm not the senator for just Democrats in Pennsylvania. I'm everyone's senator in Pennsylvania.
And so it's just having a conversation with the president. Pretty reasonable.
So you've got him saying, as he's walking out of the Senate area where they all are, you've got him talking about how his job is to represent everybody in the state of Pennsylvania. Now, you don't really hear, I think that's probably what most people in the Senate think, basically, but then they also serve their party to an extent that supersedes the people, the constituents that they have quite a bit. But watching John Fetterman, he just does what John Fetterman thinks that John Fetterman should do. He doesn't seem to serve anybody other than his own personal thoughts on it, and he continues to remind people that he has constituents at home and they're a diverse group of people. And also, listen, if you want to be elected again in Pennsylvania in another 4 years, right? 2 years ago was his. If he wants to be elected when we have yet another presidential election, he's going to have to make sure that he's been on the right side of history. So it's smart for him to do this, but it's also the Democratic Party might think it's politically suicide for him to be doing this. This is what he said he's going to do in Mar-a-Lago.
Can we ask you what you hope to get out of your visit to Mar-a-Lago to talk to Donald Trump?
What are we talking about here? Is there some news?
There's some news. We hear that you're going to be heading down to Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yes, I've heard that. Yeah.
What will you be discussing with the president?
Well, yeah, I demand that I need to be made Pope of Greenland.
Do you have the resume to be Pope?
I'm having a conversation. Like, he's the president. He's going to be.
It's funny, and it's funny that there's no laugh track. I'm going to be Pope of Greenland. And then they're like,
Here's what we should do. You should get yourself a laugh track on the computer over there.
Uh-huh.
Just throw it in from time to time.
That's not that hard. Might be able to do that before 3.
Yeah, I need like a Friends Seinfeld laugh track. Friends was filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Mm-hmm.
Was Seinfeld?
Mm-hmm.
So those were real laughter.
Well, some of it is.
And then you add in.
Then they add it later, too.
I think that maybe Congress would be better with laugh tracks and booze.
Yeah, I
Not
would too.
Not booze with the Z.
As long as
plural.
As long as the people hold the power of who's pressing the button. You know, it can't just be like some random staffer being like, "Oh, I'm going to do
It should
this."
be 100 people, 50 Republicans, 50 Democrats, and as long as you get a majority.
Yeah, it plays.
Yeah,
it plays.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be bipartisan.
Right.
You just got to get one from the other side.
You know what? In that
I'd be
situation,
making deals with people.
I would too. I'd be the one from the other side almost all the time because I would want it to be playing constantly.
Yeah.
Ooh. Susan Collins looked like she just kissed Schumer.
Some people don't know that we use a laugh track on this show for Ryan's jokes.
Yeah, it's great. Otherwise, my stuff would fall flat. But it doesn't. Pops. We can't hear the laugh track. I assume it played there for the general audience.
Why doesn't it say we're off the air?
Too long of a pause? No, there was laughing there. I don't know.
I don't know. The people just won't stop laughing so much.
Yeah.
It's hard for us to hear anything. All right, let's take a quick break. We're going to get the results to the YouTube live chat poll when we come back. Grade the snow removal in your area, A, B/C, D, or F. I'm going to do this again. Never done this before, I don't think. Let's open the phones in the last segment. We'll maybe get one or two more of you on here to tell us about the snow removal in your area. Here's the number to call, 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797. How did they do? Do they need to do better? A lot of people saying it's actually been really great. I heard Fort Russell in Illinois gets an A. If you know, you know. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on X at Annie Fry Show. Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797.
The holiday season may be coming to a close, but there's still plenty of time to make it a magical one. Ring in the new year with something stunning and timeless from Diamonds Direct. Start the new year with a celebration of your love, or even a celebration of yourself. Whether you're shopping for the perfect wedding bands, a beautiful pair of diamond studs that were missing from under your tree, or the engagement ring of their dreams, Diamonds Direct has just what you're wishing for. This year, make your New Year's resolution to shop smarter by shopping direct. Making a decision on where to make your next jewelry purchase has never been easier. At Diamonds Direct, you're guaranteed to get an extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and the white glove service that we've long been known for. Let the experts at Diamonds Direct show you the difference in a concierge luxury shopping experience. Kick off the new year the way you've always wanted. Customize your experience in-store or online at diamondsdirect.com today. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda suffered for years with chronic sinus infections.
You don't feel like doing anything. When you feel like your head is completely clogged, all you want to do is just lay down and sleep. And the pressure, it's just not fun, always walking around with a headache.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of St. Louis Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty.
I really did not know what it was like to feel like you're really breathing and not being so clogged up. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I would definitely recommend it for someone else.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, congestion? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with St. Louis Sinus Centers. Call 314-230-9333. 314-230-9333. That's 314-230-9333.
It is the YouTube live chat poll. Grade the snow removal in your area. Has it been A, B, C, D, or F? Let us know by logging on to YouTube and letting us know what you feel about this.
Somebody
poll.
gave Ryan access to buttons.
Yeah, they did. I wish there wasn't a delay. It makes it sound like they didn't get the joke. 2:41. This time check is sponsored. No, really, it is, guys. By Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Good afternoon. It's Mark Reardon. Welcome to a Friday. That means a Reardon Roundtable is coming up here in just a few minutes. Jane is on the panel. State Rep Steve Butts, former St. Louis County Councilman, and Police Chief Tim Fitch. We have a lot to talk about. We get rolling in just a few minutes right after Fox News.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Instagram at The Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. YouTube live chat poll. Grade the snow removal in your area. A. Okay. Goodness gracious.
You're an idiot.
This is not going to be easy for me.
I'm not here to make.
Oh.
I'm not here to make your life easy.
No.
What are you here for then?
That
was kind of funny.
It's your turn. Go ahead. You were talking about the poll.
I should get hazard pay.
Annie,
Yeah,
it was right around this time yesterday, I think, where we were in Annie, are you okay?
We're 60 seconds away.
16 minutes. If Ryan was here, I wouldn't have to talk again, and I have a feeling that today is not going to be that way.
I got to tell you. I just looked out.
Really?
I just looked out.
Please do.
And I saw that the Reardon Roundtable guests are showing up.
Oh, let's embarrass the family.
And I'm not sure what they think about this.
I think I have an idea. What if during the Reardon Roundtable today, we just show Ethan how to use those buttons?
Ooh, that'd be fun. What if we let them do the roundtable like normal, but he added them later in the podcast? And Reardon never knew.
He can do it to our show. You can take my interview yesterday with Congressman Bost, do the same thing.
What did you look up? Now there's markers flying everywhere around the studio.
Kate says on
All
YouTube,
in
Ryan
Ryan's
got a new
direction.
toy. Yeah, how did you know? He can't
Yes,
stop
I
playing.
did. No, that one wasn't very funny. The crowd didn't even laugh at that. Shoot.
Shoot. Riley Leonard, the quarterback for Notre Dame last night, I don't have the clip of it, but when he was giving his post-game speech, did you watch that, Ethan?
I did not.
Okay.
I turned it off as soon as it was over.
Why, you a Penn State fan?
No, I had to leave my
Oh.
house.
But you did watch the whole thing before you gave up on either team.
Correct. I did finish the game.
Riley Leonard goes and answers these pretty traditional ask the quarterback questions after the game or whatever. And he there are 2 times where he went to say something. He goes, shoot. And the next time he goes, heck.
Country boy.
He was talking about Jesus and everything. And I'm like, man, this is hitting all the marks. For all the people out there who are like, what is with all of these athletes out there constantly talking about Jesus? It's definitely something that has risen within culture. And you mark talking about Jesus with shoot right before you start talking about how great your team did. It's just like super wholesome. I believe it with Riley Leonard. Do you?
He had a full night. Yeah, I know. I do believe
He was
it with
not complimentary of his
Riley
own
Leonard.
performance
No,
either.
he's been pretty consistent in that in different. And he was the one on when I was filling in for Wiggins on Wiggins America a couple days ago. The younger, wiser, better one.
It's evolving.
He
by
was
the way,
I don't even know how that
man,
fits.
that's a bootleg version of a bootleg place.
What even was that?
That was the Cheers theme
That
song.
was Cheers, but underwater.
Yeah.
I liked your version better.
Thank you.
But he
Ryan's not listening to anything you
No.
say right now.
I'm waiting for the inflection points.
Riley Leonard talked about how how their Bible study within the football team has grown a lot this year, and I thought that was a really big point of like, okay, this is pretty legit.
Yeah, I think so too.
Nothing in there to.
I can't find a boo. I was gonna boo you. I was trying to find a boo when you said that you were better than me.
Right now, the Cheers song is still currently playing in the background.
Is it?
So, yeah, so I'm going to need you to
Okay.
stop that before I even give you a chance to
It's
turn
a long
this up.
song. Is it? I think it might be the full song.
He had a full night though last night is what I was
Mm-hmm.
going to say. You went from obviously winning the game. He had a great game. He actually went into concussion protocol at one point. He returned to.
Whoops! That was
I know.
next.
That was
one wasn't
pretty
on purpose.
crazy, wasn't it, crowd? It was pretty crazy.
Man,
He did,
you
and he
better be-
returned.
You being sensitive over there, mister.
And then there was pictures of him and Shane Gillis, the comedian, after the game together in the locker room. I was like, that looks pretty fun. So
Yeah.
it looked pretty cool.
The snow removal question, our Annie Fry YouTube live chat poll question is grade the snow removal in your area. Ethan, do you have a thought on this? You want to give us a generalization of what your area would be and how you feel about how the crews are doing?
I'm gonna say like a C plus. I
Mhm.
know it was only A B C D F, but I would say somewhere between a B and a C would probably be mine. I'd probably say C. Yeah, St. Charles. I was kind of surprised. We live on a relatively busy street in St. Charles, and it took a while for it to be in decent shape or them to have both lanes opened. I don't know. It seems like on the Missouri side, at least, the greater St. Louis area, it was they had to play a lot more catch up than I thought that they would. Just I don't know. People talked about there being lack of people to be able to do these kinds of things. I think there's just probably a lack of preparation to a certain extent. Maybe had to do something with it as well.
So you said you're in the BC category.
I'd probably.
Don't you? I mean, I'm always of the more snow the better. I like the just total stoppage of everything. Can the street crews do too good of a job? I mean, obviously you've got to think about people who need to get to the hospital, emergency crews and stuff like that. So of course, the sooner the better. But everything stops when all the snow comes down, and it's almost like you don't want it to be immediately cleared because that takes the fun away from it. I guess the safety and security part's too big of a
Changes when you have to go to work, though.
deal. Yeah. Not
whole-
Ryan. takes off when the weather's nice outside. He only
Mhm.
comes in when it snows.
Because I want people to think of me as a hero.
Well,
And
that's
what exactly are you
that's
saving?
Like the
people
sandwich.
From?
Yeah, go on.
People look at me as inspiration. They're like, I need something in my life that's going to tell me right from wrong.
What are you looking
Ryan-
at? What are you looking to
You really
inspire
almost
people?
made it through that.
What kind of inspiration do you want to give people?
I think hope for a better tomorrow. And just
Like better weather? Is that what it is?
No, there's something deeper. You know, the human soul.
I do.
He keeps looking at the
Do
clock
you?
like it's going to move faster.
He's got 7 minutes.
Are you familiar with the human soul?
Yeah.
That's what that's.
Oh my God. Ryan just literally stopped working. Like everything in his body just stopped working.
I was going to say, point out the moment to me where he started working.
Sometimes Ryan and I over here will just like look at each other and it's just, I don't know, there's something that just falls apart for one of us, and that was clearly one of those moments.
Kate suggests that Ryan wants to be the Pope of the AFS, which is one step below Pope of Greenland, which I
No.
understand is taken.
I don't. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not a huge Federman fan for that reason. I was going to
The
be
Pope
Pope of
part?
Greenland.
Oh.
And now he comes and makes it a big joke.
Donald Trump sentenced officially today to exactly no punishment for being a threat to democracy. You know, it's just weird to see the Jimmy Carter funeral, Obama palling around with Hitler, and then we have the opportunity to sentence a 34 times over felon for what he has done to the American people. And the judge is like, you're good. This is all we needed. Any thoughts on the sentencing today? No, forget you, Brad. No,
Well, I was going to look at the sentencing.
I don't know. You have
deeper.
that look. No, I know. You need to
I was
stop.
going to look at
No.
it like from just a deeper level than you're on the surface.
I'm just going to pack my things.
Stephen A. Smith kind of summed up my thoughts on this. Why are we even doing this? Why does this matter? If everything was as bad as they said it would, then you would have thought that it would require some sort of punishment, even if it's just probation. But no, they're like, no probation, no anything. You just get the title convicted felon. That's all they were after, and it's a complete and utter joke.
It's just that when you ask somebody the question, if somebody goes, he's a convicted felon, you go, what's the crime? Man, they don't know what to do. Because I don't even know what the crime is.
The answer they're going to give you is hush money, and that's not the crime.
That's not the crime. And the one that Mershon said was falsifying business records. Okay, one level deeper then. What did he falsify? It falls apart.
I want to
instantly.
say to anybody who's like 34 felons, I'm going to be like, how would I repeat his crime?
Exactly.
Walk me through it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I would like to commit that crime. Tell me how.
Yeah. I want to make sure I don't.
Right.
Tell me how to avoid it.
Yeah. Tell me how to avoid the crime.
Mhm.
I don't want to be a criminal like Donald Trump.
It's like I said at the beginning of the show, congratulations on being the winner of the consolation bracket.
These people are footnotes in history now. They know that they lost what they were setting out to do, and they don't really know what to do.
It's also going to get appealed, and it's
Yeah.
going to get overturned, and it's going to go away. I think it's actually funnier that he's going to be inaugurated as a convicted felon.
It's pretty amazing.
He literally took everything that came at him and still won. There was no, I mean, you got to ask yourself, like, how clean is this guy really? Because if it existed, if there was any way they could contort any form of reality into something that would be punitive to him, they took it not to the end zone, but they found a new stadium and took it into that end zone and be like, let's spike the ball here. And then they'll do it again over and over and over again. And everyone's like, we don't care. This is an Arby's. Like, what? That's,
What?
I mean, that's, have you ever seen that meme?
No.
Someone's like complaining about something absolutely ridiculous, and it's like, this is an Arby's, sir.
Oh, this is an Arby's. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, that's really what these people kind of sound like right now. It's like, I appreciate your passion, but it really doesn't matter anymore. To what extent? The whole time they've been calling him a convicted felon, he wasn't, and it still didn't affect the election. And now that he is a convicted felon, he's just going to be sworn in as the president as a convicted felon, and then likely overturned, maybe even somewhat quickly, maybe not, on appeal. So great try. Here's your consolation prize. Like a little purgatory of actually being able to refer to Donald Trump as a convicted felon for 34 felonies that you can't even replicate.
It's just amazing that we're halfway through this man's mark on history. This guy is going to be written about for centuries, and we have only gotten through 50% of it as of now.
Yep. YouTube live chat poll?
It's that time.
It is that time.
Grade the snow removal in your area. 254 votes on today's YouTube live chat poll. 11% say F, 17% say A, and the rest of them in the middle. 32% saying D, and 40% saying B/C.
Are you getting a lot from your community socially, talking to people in public, of people like really complaining a lot? Usually you hear complaints. People don't just go around and be like, these people are doing such a wonderful, fantastic job.
I feel like I've seen a decent chunk of information and complaining on social media. Yeah.
Mhm.
Specifically.
Really? On
the
social
Twitter.
media?
Specifically the Twitter.
Yeah?
Yeah. Or the X.
Does your town have names for its plows?
Like
Do you guys
George?
do that? No, Collinsville names all of its plows, and you can watch where they go. And one's called Snow Be Gone Kenobi, and there's Edward Blizzard Hands.
That only happens in small towns.
Cleopathra.
Collinsville?
Yeah,
Where do you watch these?
online.
Do they
on the internet.
It's like
do you vote
GPS
for 'em,
trackers?
or-
Yeah,
Can
you go
you
to
give us-
www.something and you watch it.
You go to URL.
Alice Scooper.
You know, it'd be cool if you could play a game to where you could pay like money to control where they go next. That would be fun.
Yeah, you can control their
Yeah.
their route. The
Nothing
big
gets
Yeah,
Leplowski.
yeah.
Plowy McPlowface is one of them. There's several. We always watch to see which one's coming down our street. And I think we got Snow Be Gone Kenobi yesterday.
Did he use the force?
I don't know. He used
No,
some
he used
kind
the
of
plow,
force.
obviously.
Yeah, he used a force.
Frank said, I live in South County and give it a D, but it's a big F from my block. There's been absolutely no effort to clear anything.
Thanks.
Chris said, I said D. Wentzville did a good job, but highways and ramps were crap from a while. Cars forced to merge early and no speed. I think the ramps have been, you said this, that there's like a different contract or something for ramps.
Mhm.
It shows.
Yeah.
Maybe contract
time.
with the people who are not doing the ramps to do the ramps. Just the thought, just a suggestion. Either way, to everybody who is out there driving a plow, thank you for what you're doing. We appreciate you. Keep up the hard work. And we'll get through this snowstorm just fine. Stay warm, stay safe, and stay here on 97.1 FM Talk, The Mark Reardon Show, and the Reardon Roundtable coming up next.
Rock and roll, turn up the band, find the hole, gonna lose control tonight. What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart. So
Do you want
be
to kickstart
control
planning for your
with me.
retirement this year? Well, I know a quick and easy way to do it. It's a 3-hour adult education class called Retirement Planning 101. Kind of like getting the Cliff Notes on how you could make your money go a lot further in retirement. Hey guys, it's Dave Glover from KMOX. It's never too early. It's never too late to get control over your finances and your financial future. You can do it with a one-night class taught by a fiduciary advisor from Financial and Tax Architects with decades of financial planning experience. They're held at colleges and libraries throughout St. Louis. You're going to learn about tax saving strategies, IRA and 401k withdrawals, Roth conversions, Social Security, and more. There's no cost. All you have to do is bring 3 canned goods for the St. Louis Crisis Nursery. There are still openings for this month's classes and next. So call 314-350-8110. 314-350-8110. That's my personal Dave Glover KMOX number, 314